It's so very nice to see you on a Monday. Wait, I can't see you on a Monday. I'm listening to myself talk to you on a Monday. Who's hungover besides Rocha? Everybody else? What a crew we have. Kate is cleaning up poop and throw up, and then her kids are doing something too, but her husband's pooping all over the place apparently. So that's something I just shared. And then guess what? We have the fart ninja going on, and we had a water delivery. And the guy came in and he stepped in and he thought he shit his pants. So it was good. Oh, is this thing on? I'm seeing a little bit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to SEN Live, the Schmoedown Entertainment Network. I'm Kristian Harloff. Thank you for joining us here. What a weekend it was. I mean, holy crap. The Critics' Choice Awards went down. The Schmoedown Awards went down. The Schmoedown Draft went down. And then this morning, the internet went ablaze when the Oscar nominations came out. I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, there's always snubs. I saw someone say that. There's always snubs. You know that. Yeah, there's always snubs, and that's part of the discussion. But I think this year arguably might have been the biggest snubs thus far. And to talk about it with me today, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. He helped us out because we had to rearrange this entire studio today, and he helped us do it. He is the D, he is the M, he is the F, David Michael Frank.
What's going on?
Man, welcome back, David.
Yes,
Happy New Year.
Happy to be back. Yeah.
It's good to have you back.
Yeah, New Year. Wow, 2020.
It's
Crazy.
nuts. It's nuts. And joining us back on the table here, RB3 and Ben the Bagel Boy Goddard, both are going to be supporting new teams this year in the draft, which is very exciting.
Face off is going to be.
Oh, I can announce that is an official match, and that's going to happen.
I cannot wait.
That's going to happen. So, look, and then joining us also on the table, he is co-holder of the team championship, part of the Finstock Exchange. He is John the Outlaw Rocha. What's up, champ?
What's up, everybody?
Nice to have you.
Nice to see it all rearranged, but I don't see any pictures of the current tag team champions up there.
Not yet.
All right.
Not yet. But
just want to say.
It's a new season.
It's because you're a fourth-round pick.
You know what?
I couldn't wait.
I'm not taking shit from a guy wearing a Last Jedi sweatshirt. That's for goddamn sure. That means half your comment's worth something, half your comment isn't.
It's good. It's good. I like what you're doing.
Oh, man.
I like what you're
It's
doing.
only when I go to the casino that it's not worth anything.
I do want to address something too, because it's a fair concern I saw with the patrons who've been talking about this year when it came to the draft. The patrons were like, well, the spoiler. I understand the spoiler ban like not happening when there's a live event because everybody has a chance to see it. Nobody has a chance to see it, so there were people who were like, why didn't you live stream it? Well, we couldn't live stream it. And the thing is, well, what's the $10 tier for? The $10 is just for a live event. You're getting a live event at the end of the year. Yeah. We just couldn't do it because the Comedy Store is my home and Mark's home. They allowed us to do the event there. And there are other places that we couldn't do it. When we said it was like, for the fans, it was like $20 a ticket. It was nothing. It's supposed to, in order to pay for these events, the tiers, they go up because you got to pay for the venues and you got to do all this stuff. So anyway, so we were gonna do the event at Collider at one point, you know, and it's just but you know, we were just gonna do it back. It's like we did 2 years ago because we couldn't afford to put the whole thing on, but Comedy Store was able to do it. Now we couldn't live stream. We tried, and up until like the 24 hours beforehand, we were talking about it. Just couldn't happen. Yeah. So why are there spoilers allowed, and it's hard to avoid because the thing is, what you have to understand is when we're treating this year like a full-on sport, that I can say to the competitors, hey, guys, hold out, because it airs, by the way, the awards air today, and then the draft airs tomorrow. And I could tell the competitors, hey, hold out until Tuesday and then start tweeting out your excitement. Then we'll announce all the picks. The excitement's gone.
Yeah.
The flair and the energy in the room, you felt it on Twitter. You felt it there, and you'll be able to see it. And there's actually more excitement for the event to see how it all played out. Now it's not going to run like that for every live event. It's not going to run like that for everything that we do. But we had to do it this way because we wanted to get that full-on sports thing, to get the idea out there, get people talking about it. It was trending. It got so there was, and I've gotten so many emails from people who didn't know what it was, signed up, people of caliber that were asking about it and understanding. It worked for what we were doing. But I'm not saying that without addressing that I do understand the concern and the frustration. I do. I completely. And I also knew that going into it that would be a concern. But I will also tell you this. For those people, the patrons that were concerned about it, I think you're going to be okay. You think you're going to feel okay because there's a lot of cool stuff that you're going to be getting really soon. But again, it's not one of these things like, oh, you guys shouldn't be complaining. I get it.
Yeah.
Completely understand. But it just had to be done this way because the energy in that room and the understanding of it. But what I tell you what we'll do on this show, because I know people are still waiting, we're not going to talk about the in-depth breakdown on this show because John's going to be hosting backstage this week. So he'll be breaking it down there for sure. And we'll talk about it on Wednesday when it is up so you can see it. Because I know people have been trying to avoid it. Some of the spoilers online. Yeah. So if they're listening to the show every day, I don't want to make them listen to it. So for that, we're going to hold back. But again, I understand it just had to be done this way.
I think I look at it this way. It's like when the NFL first started, the draft wasn't live. It wasn't like streamed for people to watch.
Right.
You know, Roselle just did the picks. The teams were all in a room. We're at the beginning of a sports league. So that's how it's going to go sometimes. It's not, these are the little things that you have to kind of take the hits on and move forward, and fans too. Though that's going to be, it's just a step in the right direction. There was a lot of electricity. There was so much electricity that I went on my YouTube, did a live stream breaking down the factions later that night, and I had almost 600 people joining me to talk about it. And I'm just starting out on this. All over the world, people from Sweden, Ireland, Saudi Arabia. People were excited to see and hear us all, and then have trade back and forth breaking down the factions.
Roxy did the same thing, or where she went to. It's a
blast.
It just had to be done this way. Yeah. But the one spoiler I will give you is that Ben Goddard, Kate Mulligan, and who else? It might have been RB3. Were all right. Bonnie did not show up. Bonnie did not show up. She did not show up. So she said that there was
that's the snub.
I know there was a plumbing problem or something in the house, so it didn't work. I don't know. So anyway, so there you go. Okay, that's not good. So the award show might be delayed because my editor just said that he hasn't gotten the footage yet. That's good.
Boy.
Let me make sure I'm sending it to him right now.
Oh, okay.
The footage?
Yeah.
Did you not send it to him yesterday?
I thought I did. Let me.
Sure. Here we go.
That's not good. That's not good. We got to get that done. Got to make sure that they have those awards and the draft.
No, but I don't want to be mean either. You sense it from the fans. It's their excitement. And that's a positive that they're upset because they wanted to see this thing.
I know, and I felt bad just because you knew the reactors and Frank Janisch were going to be live tweeting, and I know Abby Friel was doing that, and I knew that if I got drafted, I was going to be excited and I wanted to tweet it out. So I knew. I get, like you said, I get both sides, but man, it was so great being in that room for the awards and the draft, both of them back to back.
I had a buddy of mine who he was familiar with Schmoedown. He was watching the first 3 or 4 seasons, and then family got in the way. But he came to the event. And he's like, dude, it felt like I was at the NFL draft.
Yeah.
He goes, there was so much entertainment. The energy in that room was crazy. There was over 300 people there.
Yeah.
It was lunacy in that room.
People got upset too. I heard.
Oh yeah. There was.
I heard people got upset about where they were picked.
Of course,
that's people got upset. Who was chosen? Surprises.
It's the nature of it. It's the nature of it.
Because we're not allowed to. You don't want us to say.
Not now.
Okay.
Not now.
All
because
right,
like I said, because the social media and stuff too. If you wanted to avoid it, but people who are watching this show, I don't want them to be like,
respect.
I was trying. So I'm gonna back.
Well, watch it because you guys are gonna love it. Definitely watch it.
If he gets the footage.
Honestly, even if you follow people that were live tweeting the draft, you still should watch it and the awards because it was so much fun, and it was great to just see people's reactions because there were so many surprises. Even in the first round where you thought you knew, you don't.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
And people went up and did speeches. That wasn't live streamed. That wasn't tweeted about. So Those are the things you don't want to miss.
Oh yeah, the moments. I mean, you're gonna. There's a moment that if you were taking spoilers that you've definitely heard about. It was the moment of the night for sure, and it'll probably get nominated for moment next year. But it's still, I can't wait to watch it again because the way it played in the room, the place erupted and it just went crazy in the room. Like the whole place, like just the roof almost blew off the place when this particular thing happened. Okay, so look, so we're gonna get into this. So much to talk about. The Morbius trailer dropped. The obviously the Critics' Choice Awards happened yesterday. I didn't go. I was gonna. Wow. Dude, there was so much that I had to do. In general, there was some family stuff. I can't transfer over the tickets. I'm sorry.
I can go as Kristian Harlan.
Yeah, you look just like me. But I could have sent my daughter, who looks just like me. The 2-year-old shows up wearing my tux.
It stinks.
Yeah, right. It's stinky. So anyway, it's I didn't go to that, and Dagnino was the one who was upset about that because he was my +1. But either way, those awards went down. The Oscar nominations came out this morning. So much, and we're going to talk about all of it. And I know that already there's so many people who are already putting the streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown to get the questions in there. Want to talk about the Oscars and the Oscar snubs. So what I'm going to do right now, it is 10:10. We're going to turn the Schmobot on. The Schmobot will be on for around 15, 20 minutes or so while I go through some of these Streamlabs questions that are coming in now. And then after that, then we're going to shut it down and go into all these nominations because there's so much to talk about in the Oscar nominations. Okay, so this is now from Streamlabs, and it says, Josh97HG. Hey, Kristian, you have inspired me to create my own YouTube channel. You've taught me if you're passionate enough about something, people will watch it. I currently have 550 subs, and one of my videos has hit 55,000 views.
Wow.
So thank you. The channel is Josh97. Awesome. It's great. I mean,
nice.
that's the whole point, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and congratulations on that video, and you'll find new ways. And don't get frustrated though if the next one doesn't hit 55,000 or whatever too. It's like there's no rhyme or reason for it. You just gotta put in the work, put in that. Don't try to every time, oh, this one's going to do 60, 70,000. It's like, just do. The reason why it did 55 in the first place is because you put your heart and your passion into it. Right. Just keep doing that. Yeah. Josh97HT follows up. He says, my channel is FIFA Gaming channel, and not only did my best video reach 55,000, but the soccer play I did on my video, the soccer player I did my video on reached out to me on Instagram.
Nice.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's awesome. He watched my video, and he's going to post it on his Instagram account. Thank you for inspiring me. That is such a great story.
I'm going to go find that video. Now, I play FIFA every year.
Yeah, you should. Yeah. You absolutely should. I'd love that story. Okay, this is now C. Forbes 54. Endgame not getting even for best score. Would have loved to seen more love for the culmination of the MCU. Wish Disney would have pushed harder for a nomination. I think that after all, the Scorsese stuff was damaging. I really think it was. I think not just it's just a silly debate that it put in overall, and then like I think that it what it does is it puts people on the fence. Like, if I vote for this, does it mean I'm going against the film critic? This, and it's like it's just silly arguments the whole thing all the way through. So as that goes. Whatever, just don't push it. But I think that Alan Silvestri should have been nominated for score.
Absolutely.
That I'm not 100% sure about because like there's still a bunch of scores that I think got left out of the original score category. Parasite, one of them. Uncut Gems didn't get any nomination.
Uncut Gems, that score should have been. I totally agree with the RB3. Yeah. Look, I know it might get shot leaving the studio, but John Williams should not have been nominated for that Skywalker. There's nothing you're humming as you're walking out of that movie. There's no score, no cuts.
That's a legacy.
And I get that, but I always think the older ones that have been nominated a few times have won.
Yeah.
They can step aside for the young ones. The young ones are still building. I think that Uncut Gem should have been totally
There's some good stuff in
Rise Randy Newman stuff.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in Rise of Skywalker, but if you ask me, take the Silvestri or Silvestri all day long.
Yeah, did they even, because the big thing when that TV spot, it was like Duel of the Fates and the March of the Empire was together. That wasn't even in the movie. I was like, oh my God, this combination, and then it wasn't even in it.
Yeah, it was a good score. I mean, it was the nostalgia score.
Sure,
for sure. But
and it's also John Williams' last score.
That's right.
Ever.
That is it. His last score for Star Wars ever.
I think he said he was.
Is he retiring for sure?
That's why.
Well, then it's definitely a legacy nomination.
Breaking news
for sure. I didn't know that. It's Always Sunny in Philly. SEN fam. First, I can't wait for the draft awards video, the New York show, and the new era. It just can't get here sooner. On the Oscars, I'm very disappointed in nothing for the farewell, and I'm not happy about Taron for Rocket Man, but knew that was a long shot. I guess we'll get into a lot of this stuff now anyway. So with all the questions coming in, but Taron Egerton, I would have put him.
Never have I ever woke up to so much rage on the internet as today. I mean, holy fuck. Are the Oscars still recognized as the pinnacle for top movie recognition, or are they dead?
Maybe.
Also, still watch the awards and draft if you were spoiled for the reactions.
Yep. Yeah, the reactions for sure.
Yeah,
the reactions of our awards. But yeah, RB3's tweets were saying it this morning, man. That's why I posted this whole thing. It's like it's too hard. It's kind of messy, and I think the political landscape has a lot to do with it too. To be honest with you, too. Yeah, it's just the whole thing's messy. It's not. What does it really mean? Well, is it besides the films going Oscar winner, blah 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 blah, or Oscar nominee? It's like, does it really mean anything anymore?
I think it still has prestige. I think the problem is that they have to increase the amount of nominees in each category. I think there's way too much going on. And I said this back when I was in the other place. Like I said this over and over again.
You can say Collider.
All right, I'm just saying. It just didn't come to me.
The sunken place.
It didn't come to me. But when I was back,
let's not.
Yeah. When I was back on Collider Movies, look, I meant to say, I'm sorry, I forgot. But when I was on Collider Movie Talk, I said this over and over again that I thought it should have been increased. All the things should be increased. It removes the messiness at that point. We did the college football playoff. Why? Because people were upset about the way it was going. So you increase it. Yeah, are still people mad? Yeah, but they're not mad at the level they were before. If you increase each of the categories, doesn't mean you have to nominate 10.
Right, doesn't mean you'll win, but it's
right. It's still recognized because people do grow up wanting to win that.
They might have to add more, man. They really might have to.
Like directors, definitely
for sure.
And on top of that, it's like it felt like, especially this year, 2019 was one of the best years of the decade for movies, and it felt like the Academy saw the 10 movies that were nominated for Best Picture, and then they nominated them for everything. That was it. Like,
but it's like how close out. Like, it's a good point to put more nominations because like Greta Gerwig gets screwed. Yeah, she had a great job directing that movie.
That movie's incredible.
She did for sure. And look at. I mean, I know you must have been. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, literally, there's a ton of women that should have been nominated. Issa Rae even made like the joke during the announcement. Congratulations to all these men. There's literally Lulu Wang from The Affair, which also didn't get any nominations.
Alma Harrell.
For Honey Boy.
What I want to know though inside of this,
too,
and I'm sure the majority is definitely dudes, but I want to know what the majority is because to be fair to everyone, what the nominating committee. Because it's not just a bunch of dudes who are nominated. It's dudes and women. So the question,
of different races and different ages.
Of everything. Yeah. So, but I want to know, I mean, obviously we know majority, but I would like to know, like, I would love to see the actual numbers. Like, how much did Greta Gerwig miss out on?
Yeah.
I think that they should release that shit, man.
That's not a bad idea,
I think they released it, like, show how close was it? Because if it's like one of these things where you see you have a list of all the people who are nominating, they're all like quiet and you don't have to see what that person picked. Mm-hmm. But show me who's on these committees. Show me what the majority is of people, though, too, because I think because then it's valid to say like, oh well, all these people were just dudes. It's like, well, there's a lot of women who voted for them too, and it very well might not be that at all. I'm just saying we don't have a list, and show me all because it's always like when they show an Entertainment Weekly, a director says that they did this. Show me what motherfucker said it. They show
unnamed source.
Yeah, don't give me the unnamed source anymore. Be part of the committee. Who is on the committee? Who are all these people that are nominating? So we know. Because it's turning into this shit show every year.
Yeah.
So show me exactly who is nominating and what, and then release. Greta Gerwig missed out by 4 votes.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. And and I hope I walked the line on this correctly, but people want transparency from their government. Why the hell can't we get transparency from the damn Oscar nominee committee? That's ridiculous to me because the government, that's actually real shit. This is just awards on an award show. Yeah. How can we not have transparency for this stuff?
And there's probably more outrage on this than the fact missiles going every 5 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. But so the transparency will go both ways.
Yeah. Well, perfect example. Like, and I have no problem releasing the actual results once the awards come out for the Schmoedown Awards. There was a award that that you were involved in. I'll just say that it was like one of the second awards in the night, right?
Yes.
That was decided by 11 votes.
Wow.
11 votes out of like thousands. Wow. So, and I have no problem showing that and showing everybody. I think that that's what they should do because it then shows, okay, well, look, they missed out. And because it also shows then if Greta Gerwig missed out by 2 votes or 3 votes, what it shows then is this. One of those members that goes, damn it, I should have voted, 1. Or 2, if it's that close and if there's so many, and then the next person under Greta Gerwig missed out by 15 or 100 votes, maybe we should do more of this, or the audience increase it. But if all these votes now, if Greta Gerwig missed out by thousands, and the other one, then the audience goes, well, a lot of people just didn't see what I did.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just you don't have any data on it.
But I think a big part of it too is like the award shows are so held to like money and like how much money a campaign
how much can you push your campaign?
Exactly. And it's like it's such an unfair it's such an unfair system. Like we see a small movie like The Farewell or a small movie like
Uncut
Gems or Honey Boy that won't get the same opportunities because they don't have the big backing behind it.
They don't host a party.
Well, even Hustlers, man. I mean, that was the highest grossing film for STX. Hustlers was. Yeah. And that's a small film.
Yeah. Well, one of the things with Hustlers too is that the Hustlers, I think, also suffered from coming out too early. So all those, but I think it was released when it was supposed to be released. But the problem is, because it came out so early, the buzz by the time it came out September or something. Yeah. But it's whenever it was, maybe August. It's had all these other nominations, all the other potential nominated ones come out. Same thing with what was just shit. The other one,
Rocket Man.
Well, Rocket Man definitely. Yeah. But
Us
Eddie Murphy getting screwed.
Oh yeah, Dolomite
getting screwed to me was because that's the Netflix problem.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's a movie that I still think for some reason a lot of the voters, they look at it as like, it's a Netflix movie.
But no, I wouldn't say that because two Popes got nominated for lead actor and supporting actor,
and both Klaus and
True.
And the other.
Well, you know what it is? Maybe about
I Want My Body.
Yeah. See, maybe this is what it is about Popes is that, and I don't agree with this because I like both the movies, but Dolomite is one of my favorites of the year.
Yeah.
I think the way that you look at it is because it's about Dolomite. It is also it's a comedy, and then you look at the two Popes.
They're already mad at Eddie Murphy to begin with because of the whole thing from.
Oh right, but he didn't want it.
Yeah, when he didn't want.
Well, that's different though because that I think people can because what RB3 is talking about is he was supposed to host a few years back.
It was all that controversy
with him and Ratner, and he decided not to do it. The difference with that is that those people that are going to be mad at him are the ones who put on the actual show, or the coordinators, the people who run the office. If you're a voter, do you really give a shit?
Right.
Because if I'm part of the voting committee, I'm not going to snub out Eddie Murphy because he didn't host a show. I wouldn't care about that because the nominees are made up by his peers. Yeah. Like the nominees are made up of people inside of the business, not necessarily the people putting on the show and like the president of the academy who'd probably be more mad at him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true too.
So I don't necessarily know if that had as much to do with it as it was looking at it and going, well, it's Dolomite and it's this and it's which I think is wrong.
Right.
I think it's a funny movie. I think it's a great movie. I think it's a movie about hope and inspiration. So yeah, that one was like, come on, man.
Well, I put that in the same boat with Hustlers. I think there's a bit of a prudishness to the critics or to the Oscars, and like we're not going to give it to a film about strippers. We're not going to give it to a film about this guy who was like posing naked on his album covers with other women.
Right. That's what I mean.
I think they approach it that way. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I think that's the mentality, 100%. And that's why those films get screwed sometimes.
And that's the voting base. I mean, it's still overwhelming.
It is.
I also can't wait for the new season of Schmoedown to star. Is anyone familiar with the Our Stupid Reactions channel?
No.
I feel either Rick or Corbin from it would be a wonderful addition to the Schmoedown. Please give them a chance like Greg.
Oh, all right. That's something to look at. But the other thing, though, RB3 is it's the same thing maybe when the voting committee goes, we can't nominate Little Nicky.
Yeah,
and then Uncut Gems just get shut out completely because they always think he's going to go,
right. Or Jim Carrey for Eternal Sunshine. You're not going to nominate the guy that talks out of his ass.
Not nominated for that?
No.
That's horse poop.
You just have especially with Dolomite, you have like a direct correlation with disaster artists.
Yeah.
Like on paper, they're very similar movies. And James Franco was being sung to the rafters until his Me Too controversy came out and he didn't get nominated.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, why would...
Well, he won the Golden Globe.
Yeah,
he had just won the Golden Globe.
Yeah,
I still think they rigged that thing, in my opinion.
With the Golden Globe?
For Franco not to win, not to get nominated.
Of course.
I think they were like,
It wasn't a rig. It was like, no, we changed our mind.
Yes.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
But I mean, same thing with Lupita Nyong'o and Us, right?
Oh,
I
my
talked
God.
about it too before. That's literally, to me, like out of all, I've seen like all these movies is nominated for Best Actress except for Judy. I haven't seen that one, but
it's good, man. It's good, man.
She deserves. She's gonna win.
I mean, but besides that, I'm not speaking on that. The other ones though. Lupita outacted all other four of those nominees, if you ask me.
I don't disagree with you. I think certainly Scarlett could have been pushed out for Lupita because I think Scarlett does a way better job in JoJo than she does in Marriage Story. Adam Driver is the thing pushing Marriage Story.
Yeah.
She's the inciting incident, but Adam Driver is the thing you're watching, right? Is the journey you're following. I think she's stronger in JoJo. I think Lupita Nyong'o has given a performance that people are going to... Yeah, and the thing is, that's the horror thing. Sometimes the Academy looks at horror also in the same way and goes, we can't nominate a horror. It's kind of a subgenre. So sometimes that's a problem.
It's horror, and it's the fact that she's an African-American woman. There's only been, like 11 nominees out of 92 years. But you only one winner in Halle Berry. So I can't even.
I don't think you're wrong when it comes to that. But don't you think in the last 2 or 3 years that's shifted?
It's been getting worse.
You think it's been getting worse?
The fact that, listen, I'm not gonna crap on Harriet or the actress because I haven't seen that movie. But the fact that it's more acceptable to nominate a slave or something about slavery, or something about gangsters as opposed to something more contemporary, it just goes to show the age of what the Academy is doing, and they do it consistently. They gave Green Book the best picture last year. They keep going with the decisions that seem to be going in the opposite direction, despite them saying that they're adding all these new members.
Right,
it's still the same.
It's still getting nominated for the same type of stuff as opposed to recognizing other genres and other things that should be recognized outside of just that.
Listen. This is gonna be one nice thing I'm gonna say about Michael B. Jordan, right? He should have been nominated for Creed.
Right? Whoa!
He should have been nominated.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, he should have been nominated for Creed, but they shut Creed almost completely out.
Except Stallone,
except Stallone, and they gave Shattuck Compton. I love Shattuck Compton, but it's the same thing. Gangsters, all that type of shit. So it's like it's just very frustrating that they're not gonna. They would much rather prefer.
But what about Get Out? Didn't Get Out get nominated?
Get Out got a lot of nominations, and Jordan Peele won, but that's a minority, and it's also literally about him being entrapped by white people.
Right. All right. Knapsack's. It was a good point. Knapsack's ponytail. I said this on Ben and Guy's stream last night, but it bears repeating. Someone needs to tell Rocha that heel face turns are not impactful when you turn almost every season. He's turning into Schmoedown's Big Show, and not in a good way. Rocha, you haven't turned heel.
No,
Rocha's. You've only been heel and face once.
You'll excuse me if I don't listen. If you don't listen, excuse me, I'm going to listen to a guy who doesn't do it. So please, no offense.
First of all, champ. First of all, Rocha didn't turn heel.
I didn't turn heel.
He just had a moment.
Yeah,
he didn't.
With all due respect.
Yeah, with all due respect.
With all due respect. No, but there was no. Yeah, there was no teal. And he's only been once. Only one time he started out as a heel. He went face, and he's never changed.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. The Outlaw is neither heel nor face. He is a tweener. That's what he is, and whatever works for that situation, he's going to be. Right. There's no turning here. I am exactly who I've always been from the beginning. Do I turn it on one way or another depending on the situation or the faction I'm in? Yes.
Well, I think
I'm always the same.
I'll push back that on a little bit because I think that the Outlaw, when coming into the league in like season 3, really took it upon himself to be the focal point of it all. Wouldn't play well with others, even though Nost was an exception. But like I see what you're saying. Wouldn't recognize that anyone is better than him. This iteration always recognizes and respects Dan Murrell and the Horsemen, and is willing to play with others, and did take a back seat of the Horsemen and say, okay, you know what? Let's try to do a different thing. Tom, go ahead and take the lead. Now I saw a little of that old Outlaw come back over the yet again another reason why you should watch the awards.
Well, he's not going to be so good. Look, the Outlaw's not going to be disrespected.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. So I do think that the character has changed, but I think Knapsack's ponytail is absolutely incorrect. Yeah. Kristian Thorpe. I've seen a few Schmoedowns before, but I've gone back and I started from the beginning to see them all. I thought for sure that JTE cheated against Ellis, but I was persuaded by his trial episode. Had you been given a vote, would you have said not guilty also? Do you remember the trial?
I do. The trial of JTE.
When to this day I have to get that shirt made.
Yeah.
I believe in trial and error, and my client being on trial, it's an error. It was the best line ever. So I definitely think that he didn't realize that he cheated, but he cheated.
Yeah.
But no, I probably would have still said not guilty because I think that he's just got that wandering eye in general.
I love the fans. Because they turn these matches into like Zapruder film.
Yeah.
They go frame by frame, figuring out see, that person looked here. And it's like, you're just casually looking to your left or right because you're trying to get the thing in your head.
Yeah.
And you didn't even think about looking at a board. There's so much going on. So someone actively cheating would be so insane. Because then everyone's watching you.
Yeah. It's Always Sunny in Philly. I'm also very disappointed in no Sandler or Murphy for Best Actor. Yeah. But I also feel that category had the most competition, so I kind of understand it. However, no J-Lo was a surprise, as I think Hustlers was the best she's ever been, and I didn't love the movie. I don't disagree with you there. I didn't love the movie as much as everyone else did.
Neither did I.
But I thought she was really good. Yeah. I thought that a Best Supporting nomination maybe should have happened. I don't think she should have won it, but I think she should have been nominated. Yeah, for sure.
I liked Hustlers. The only reason why I was
How many rounds of voting do you guys think the Academy has? 1 round? 2 rounds? 4 rounds? Maybe 4 rounds. Yeah, I think it's the 4th round.
Well done.
And that's not a movie, it's an experience. Best Picture 2019. I live in rural central PA and my showing was 95% sold out.
The movie's great. We'll talk about that one. It was 1917.
Yeah.
Best Picture. We'll talk about it. Go ahead, finish your point.
What was I saying?
We were talking about Sandler and Murphy.
Yeah. It's again, that's another example. I mean, the best actor category was stacked. Also, De Niro got snubbed for Irishman, which I thought he was great in too. But I mean,
I wouldn't have put him not getting nominated would have been okay for me. It's just I think that Taron Egerton, and I love DiCaprio. DiCaprio made me laugh my ass off, and I rewatched that movie again. I just don't think he should have been nominated for Best Actor.
You don't think so?
Not for Best Actor.
Taron Egerton?
No. DiCaprio. I think Taron should have been nominated over Leo.
Oh no, I think I'd take him over Jonathan Price. Look, if
Price was good,
if someone else is playing half the movie as your younger self, you're not the best actor.
Not the half movie.
Come on. There was a number of scenes where a younger version of him is playing the same character. So to me, that takes away from the performance a little bit.
I thought John and Price. See, I didn't see Pain and Glory, but I hear great things.
It's good. Banderas is great in that movie.
Yeah, I didn't see him in that, so I can't judge that. So I would have either replaced DiCaprio with either Taron or Eddie Murphy.
What about
for
Sam?
sure? No. Or Christian Bale. Where was Christian Bale?
Where's Christian Bale? That's the number one stuff for me.
I really feel like this will be the year that they expand because everyone you're naming, including the 5 that are nominated.
Willem Dafoe, right? Did you say
Willem Dafoe for The Lighthouse. Yeah. Robert Pattinson for Best Supporting The Lighthouse. If you want to go 1 and 2, it's nuts.
That one's nuts. And then J-Lo not getting in there.
Wait. Paul Walter Hauser. For
Jewel. He was not getting any buzz
incredible.
Though. He's really good in it, but he hasn't been getting any love from anywhere.
They unfairly attacked that movie.
I agree with you, but
Kathy Bates got nominated.
Yeah, thank God.
But it's Kathy Bates.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that Hauser wasn't a shock to me because he's been getting love nowhere.
Yeah.
Sandler getting screwed. You kind of knew it was going to happen. You're like, Outside Shot, he gets nominated.
Yeah, it was an Outside Shot.
It was an Outside
Safdie
Shot.
Brothers should get nominated too. That's 2 amazing movies back to back.
Too dark and too stressful for people.
It was a nice little tweet. Adam Sandler tweeted out, "I was like, no love for the Sandman, but at least Mama got nominated." Kathy Bates, and it was a picture from her from Waterboy. That was real nice.
Anyway,
I thought at least sound mixing or something.
Technical. Like that's the best editing. Yeah,
I was gonna say Joker. All right, listen, I'm an editor, right? Joker being nominated. I'm gonna defend Joker for the most part because I actually kind of like Joker. But for best editing, that's ridiculous.
1917 was not nominated for best editing.
It won with the
Critics' Choice Award.
But it shouldn't have won the Critics' Choice Awards for editing. They edit together one shot.
I went to the Collider screening and the editor was there.
Yeah.
He did a lot more than that.
I know.
I understand
Of course.
But even like someone made I think Roger Deakins even made a joke. He's like, "This was the easiest movie you've ever worked on."
That's what I mean, though.
Roger Deakins seems like someone I want to get a beer with. He seems like the coolest guy ever.
Right? Well, you just steal his wallet afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Steal his Oscar. That's right.
One Oscar.
I did when I went to. I don't know if I talked about it. I went to the NBC Golden Globes party.
Oh, cool.
Right, and when I was there, it was right after Mendes had won, and he came walking in with the Globe, and it was like a baller move. It was it was awesome. But my favorite part though of that whole thing is there's like in the hallway for this hotel, there's like a bunch of different parties that are going, like the HBO party, the entire cast of Succession was walking through. Right, it's great. Yeah, but my favorite part that I see this guy kind of wandering around, right, and he's just like looking, he's talking to people, and it was Larry David. And in my head, I'm like, as he's doing it, and I'm like, this is great. And my wife's like, come on, we go to the party. I go, no, I'm watching Larry David walk around talking to people. Like, I can only imagine what the hell he's saying to these people.
One shot? You shot it at one shot?
I'm like, come on, how do you not have people escorting people where to go? Jay Scotty for real. Gentlemen, The topic is that funky, skunky, smelly green shit.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite strains, best stoner flicks, favorite movie stoner. Gotta love Grandma's Boys, and James Franco's role in Pineapple Express doesn't get enough credit for helping him career stay lifted. I would say Dazed and Confused for me.
Yeah, Dazed and Confused. That's probably the best stoner. Matthew McConaughey in that.
Yeah.
Best stoner movie for me is Friday.
It's a great
I just
one,
gotta
too.
go with that.
Friday is
Great
the choice, but
Yeah.
the unrecognized best stoner performance is Brad Pitt in True Romance.
Oh,
shit,
for
yeah.
sure.
No one
Oh,
talks
yeah,
about that
sure.
one, and he's almost stole the whole damn movie
Floyd.
in 3 minutes. Yeah,
Floyd. Yeah, he's great.
Lebowski's
send
the-
a meme, man.
Lebowski's the easy answer, but
yeah.
Grandma's Boy is really underappreciated.
Yeah.
I love that. That movie's so dumb funny.
Yeah. My father-in-law just broke my heart. He's been wanting to watch Big Lebowski because he was a esteemed acting theater professor at USC for 30 years.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
You told me
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Your dad?
my father-in-law.
Oh, your father-in-law.
And so for 30 years, and he went off, and he's like he lives in Wyoming, and like he's like a rancher, he's a cowboy. So he's like,
I like
he wanted
this
to watch Lebowski, and he's watching, and I'm like, you like it? He's like, nah. I'm like, oh, it broke my heart. And he's just like, and he was going, because he's very, he's critical of the performances, and he's like, you can tell like the writing is like over. He's like, it's overdone, and I'm like, but that's the goals, man.
yeah.
That's the goals. It's kind of the point of it. But he loved Totoro. Thought Totoro was great.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
This is great.
Should have responded. Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
That to me
well
is
done.
That to
Well
me is
done.
my favorite comedy of all time.
Wow, Lebowski.
It's really funny. It's
really
really
makes
funny.
me laugh.
Yeah.
All right.
Christian Alante, no nomination at all for The Farewell. Not to mention Uncut Gems too. Is the Academy just trash now, or are they just busy circle jerking to a clown?
Wow. Wow. Well, it's not like there was terrible movies nominated here.
Right, there was good movies.
So,
You can't take it out on the movies that were nominated because there were good ones. But I think that we've come to the decision: more nominations, man.
Yeah.
More nominations. It needs to be.
More nominations. I think, obviously, like, I think the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood thing is also affecting a lot of people because I think people are starting to recognize that it's like not the best Tarantino movie.
Yeah,
it's not even the best Leo and Tarantino like collaboration.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I like it too, but it does feel like a cheat code just putting Hollywood in the title and it's gonna get like all of these nominations.
Yeah, I don't think it should have been nominated for Best Director at all.
No,
I don't think anything Tarantino did in this movie he hadn't done in 10 other ones. Yeah, production design fine for
sure.
but there's not. I agree with you. It's
love
not. It's a good movie, but it's not my favorite Tarantino.
It's not my favorite Tarantino movie, but I liked it better than Hateful Eight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
Okay.
Didn't say
I like
you-
it better than Glorious Bastard.
Didn't say that you guys liked it better. Simply said that I liked it better. Hence, saying me, myself, I liked it better than Hateful Eight.
I don't know if you did, Kristian. You say that.
You fucks. You.
But that was another thing. I want to say her name right. Zhao Zhuzhen, who plays the grandmother in The Farewell.
She should've gotten
That's
nominated.
best supporting all day.
Yeah. I just watched. I've seen. I was exhausted. It was right after the awards and the draft that we started watching it. So I could have been watching fucking The Matrix, and I almost would have fallen asleep. And I almost fell asleep a bunch of different times. It's a slow movie. It's a very
You mean The Farewell?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a very heartwarming movie, but it's a slow film. And Awkwafina got shut out. But again, mentioning my father-in-law, because he's like, she's getting a lot of buzz. Awkwafina. I was like, yeah, she is. He's like, I think the mother-in-law should be the one, or the grandmother should be the one that's getting the all the buzz. Yeah. She was great. She's great in it. I want to finish it and see where the hell it goes. But it's but that movie, yeah. I mean, there's so many movies that just got.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to push out Kathy Bates for her, but I thought Kathy Bates did a great job. Richard Jones.
It was subtle.
Yeah,
it was subtle.
It's just about giving more nominations because like 2019 was one of the best years I've been alive for film.
Yeah.
And there's just too many good people just to be like, okay, these 5. And it's like, okay, stop.
But that's what I'm getting at. Like, if you can expand the categories, and so that when good years happen, you can put more in the category.
Yeah, it doesn't
but
need
when
to be
bad
10
years
every
happen,
time.
you can just stay to the 5.
Yeah.
There's no real thing.
We did in this title say that you're mad as hell because I saw your tweets this morning.
Yes.
You're just over this.
I'm kind of just I don't think I'm giving give the whole ceremony a watch this year. I mean, there's no
Fast
host.
forward through stuff.
Yeah, just watch the winners and like literally, I don't really care what wins at this point. Like they didn't nominate any of the shit that I like really like besides Parasite, and that's the one thing I'm rooting for. But I thought it to me. We kind of at a certain point, you kind of almost have to start protesting it, right? Because like if we're not going to
or make changes, right?
Or make changes, because they keep saying they're making changes, but again, we're basically borderline at an Oscar so white situation again, except if they didn't throw in Harriet. And I feel like half the people didn't even watch Harriet, but
probably not. They were like, oh, Arrivo's getting nominated for everybody else. I'm just going to check that box.
And this is where I think that the
BAFTAs are getting crap for that. Too.
I'm surprised Julie Roberts didn't get nominated for Harriet.
They should have for sure. But the reason though that it's like that I think that they also do themselves a disservice is I do believe that there are a lot of people who feel the way you do inside of the Academy, and that want to make those changes and are making the votes to try to change it, and they're not, and they're getting either outvoted, right?
Right.
But if you give more opportunities in regards to slots, if there's 10 slots, and you're going to see more people you're going to see those Lupita Nyong'o nominations, you're going to see the Greta Gerwig nominations, you're going to see nominations in general from all over the board, and not just that, Hauser, and it's because I think it's a more everything you're saying is 100% valid. There needs to be more inclusion. There's no doubt about that. But I think from inclusion from all around the board, people like Hauser who shouldn't have gotten just shut out because there was a controversy on his movie. What did he do in the film? Right. And what he did in the film should have been celebrated, and it shouldn't have been I don't know. There's they said that thing about the reporter, so let's take it out on him. It's horseshit.
It was horseshit.
It's horseshit for them to do that to him because of that. And I think that there's more spots open than a lot more people are then going to be represented. From all shapes and colors inside.
Right, and that's the frustrating thing with because that whole argument against that movie is absolutely just it's an incredible amount of fallacy in this situation. Olivia Wilde, who everyone is kissing her butt all year in 2019 for Booksmart. She's a powerful feminist. She's a strong feminist. She's going to play a character who's going to do this, and then she came out and said, she might have done this, but James Bond does this all the time. Nobody gives a shit. Other people do this. Nobody gives a shit. But if a woman does it, then they give a shit. So to me, I thought that was a great defense to it. And I just think people just unfairly vilified this thing from a political point of view. And Richard Jewell is a fantastic film that's getting completely screwed over by that point of view. It's frustrating.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on here to the silly buffoon. I like that silly buffoon. Why is it that every time Rocha comes on the show, people talk about Latino representation on SEN?
I didn't say anything.
Why is Ben Goddard not seen as a Latino? It's true.
Well, if it's that white, it ain't right.
I'm darker than you.
Look here, you Bolivian prick, you. Oh, that's good.
Where's that Al Pacino clip you wanted?
Be respectful by not interrupting this conversation. RB3 is on fire. You may continue.
Thank you.
That's true. All right, so Joel Godina. Jennifer Lawrence is apparently rumored to be part of Thor: Love and Thunder. I think that's hard.
I noticed no female directors nominated this year. Yes. My question, were there any movies of note directed by female directors? I can't recall any off top of my head.
What? Well, no, it's look.
Is it because he didn't see any?
You got to remember that not everybody's connected to where we are.
That's a fair point.
Not everybody's following up on all the news. So that's a fair question. So look, Little Women is a movie that by Greta Gerwig that was nominated. That should have been was nominated for a lot of things. Shame
on every one of you for not mentioning Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I just watched the reboot this weekend at the tour event in Oakland. It was fucking hilarious. Mallrats 2 and Clerks 3 on the way, according to Kevin Smith.
Stoner movies.
Oh, Stoner movies. Oh, that's fair.
Got it. Well, so anyway, so Greta Gerwig is one for sure that should have been nominated, and then and Honey Boy,
Alma Harrell.
Alma Harrell should have been, it could have been, but it's. I do think that everyone that was nominated though, directors, making that clear though too.
That's the weird part of it all,
that's
right?
the problem.
Who do you take out?
That's the thing.
Who do you argue for?
But this is why I think that it becomes a tricky conversation when it comes to they just nominated all dudes. All those dudes did great jobs.
Yeah, it's not like they're, But
if it's a long, who didn't you like in there?
Todd Phillips. Yep. I don't think Todd Phillips should have got that nomination.
Wow.
Maybe not over Greta Gerwig. I might agree with you.
Yeah.
I might agree with you. But
and then
I might agree
I'll
with
put
you.
in The Farewell as well, and Queen and Slim.
I was going to say those exact two.
All right, so that's why I'm saying it should be, because and someone had said, "Oh, let's just give out a whole bunch of nominations." Then is that what you want to do? Do you know But do you know how many movies there are? Yeah. There are so many movies now with Netflix and Amazon and everything too. There's so many movies that limiting it to 5 is tough, and it has nothing to do with anything except recognizing who's out there, and you make it tougher for the voters to try to figure out when the nominations come out there, right? And make it tougher to see exactly the Todd Phillips thing. To go back to that real quick, the only reason why I think I'd argue for him being in there is because of when you look at what he did with those conversations that they had with, I think it was GQ, when you go into he brought a lot, and Joaquin Phoenix is always going to get credit for the talent that he's in. You don't really understand what Todd Phillips brought out of Joaquin Phoenix. Right. The conversations that he had, that's directing. It's not just a matter of the shots and the way that they look.
Yeah, I'm not like saying he did a bad job, but also, like, to be fair, I'd take out Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino. Like,
I wouldn't take out.
What is happening?
I wouldn't take out Tarantino.
This is no slander to Scorsese.
It is
obviously one of the best filmmakers of all time.
You just didn't like The Irishman.
I didn't like The Irishman. Right. I thought it was one of his weaker films.
Well, that's why thank God you don't nominate anybody.
Thank God. Thank God.
I push back on Todd Phillips. That's a fantastically well-directed film. Yes.
They break the 180 rule a bunch of times.
Yes, they do. On purpose.
Not on purpose.
Yes.
100% not on purpose.
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me?
I would love to have this debate with you, RB3. If only you had a podcast, we could have this argument.
You just gave me Joker the other day, and I watched it like when I got home. I really still like that movie a lot.
I love that movie.
But
it was number one of the year.
It's a classic. It's an epic film.
I just do think that the direction itself and the writing, too, are the two worst parts. Like, Joaquin is great, music is great, cinematography is great. A lot of those elements are really, really great, but I don't appreciate a lot of what's going on.
Oh, are you giving it to me? Thank you so much.
Hey.
Look at that. Thank you. That was good. Okay, let's see. Going up to RB3.
Respect, though. Respect, RB.
RB3 is my spirit animal. Woo. In a Schmoedown match in the past, Rocha got Westerns and was asked about the movie Tombstone, and he said it wasn't a Western. Can you explain that,
I never
please?
said that. They're just bashing me.
He said it was a samurai film.
They're just using that. I never said
it's the Brett chair.
I remember that quote.
I never said it was a Western. I said it wasn't a good Western.
You said it wasn't a Western.
It wasn't a good Western.
Someone pull the clip.
Someone pull it.
Someone pull the clip.
Oh, no, I don't.
From what I remember.
Like Val Kilmer. I don't like the movie.
Somebody please find it, and all you guys piece out stuff all the time. Tag me on Twitter and piece it out when he says that.
The best director critics' choice for When They See Us. I knew she wasn't getting nominated for the Oscar. That film changed conversations around restorative justice across the country.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think she could have been nominated for When They See Us.
Well, not in an Oscars. That was more of like it was more of a series, and it wasn't a movie. It was like 7 different parts. Or
she didn't win for the Emmys either. So
could that have been nominated for best documentary because of the OJ one? That was technically a series, wasn't it?
Well, but it wasn't. But
only if they screened it in the theater.
The
OJ they screened in the theater.
Yeah, it was like a 7-hour thing.
Ava DuVernay's wasn't a documentary. It was actors.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that. I apologize for that.
Yeah. So RB3 is my spirit animal. We did that already. Wet for Brett. All right. I found SEN last week while clicking on random YouTube videos. I stopped clicking when I noticed a hunky piece of man. Later, I learned his name was Brett. I don't see Brett. Where's my hunky Brett? Brett's out right at the moment. I'll let Brett tell you when he comes in because there's things going on and everything's cool, but everything's just kind of happening. He's got to be able to. I think he's coming on tomorrow, so we'll talk tomorrow with Brett. But Brett, I was with Brett for the awards, and we were back from the awards in the draft, and he had such a great time. And he was like, because he's getting more and more into the Schmoedown now and everything too. And he was on his way back. He just was so excited with how enthused everybody was also. And we were laughing. So one of my upcoming most favorite characters, and I'm looking forward to this season, is the Barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
So this dude, I've known him for a while, but I haven't seen him in a bit. He has this long hair that goes down to like here, and he had on this gold jacket.
He wore the jacket that I fake posted.
He was legit wearing that.
He's in the Penstock Exchange.
Well, I didn't want to say that yet.
Okay,
but there you go. But anyway, he is. Sorry. There was a scene. So we did a full 2-hour, it's like 4-hour video of all the cut scenes from this past season. Towards the end of that video, look for the scene of Dagnino. All you have to do is just Google or YouTube search all cutscenes from season 6 of Schmoedown. And at the end, there's a scene between the Barbarian and Finstock. And Finstock goes, Barbarian goes to him, "Hey, Gooch, He's like, who are
As
you?
I told RB3 on Twitter, and he retweeted, Scarlett Johansson should not have been nominated twice.
No.
And let's be honest, Taryn didn't get nominated because of that decent performance Rami did in one for last year. Also, Ben, Toy Story over Frozen all day.
You're high. You're high as fuck.
No,
About what?
I don't agree with that
Toy
either.
Story 4 over Frozen. I think Frozen 2 is better than Toy Story 4. You like Toy Story 4 better?
I'm glad Frozen 2 didn't get nominated.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
all right, well,
wow.
hold it. So I got to tell this.
Yeah.
So
Gooch.
Dagnina said, he goes, hey, Gooch. He's like, Dagnina goes, who are you? He goes, I'm Craig. I'm the barbarian. He's like, who do you know? I know everybody. All right, I can deal with that. He's like, so he goes, here's what I'm thinking. He goes, what can I do for you? He goes, I want you to draft me. He's like, all right. Dagnina goes, here's what I want. This is what we got to do. And he takes the VR that's sitting around a Collider and he goes, can you hide this? And he goes, yeah, in between the pecs. He's like, all right, I like you. And that was it. And it was like these two are a match made in heaven. And so the barbarian, when he did get drafted, he stands up and puts his arms out. And it was like these sea of eyes just looked at him. It was like, who is this maniac?
And then he does this hair whip with his long hair.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
it's like Rock of Ages stuff.
Yeah.
And then and another thing was because Makuga is not always locked into all the characters, and the Warhammer, Warfather, he's got the Warhammer. Warfather was sitting in the back booth with everyone holding court. He's huge. He's a massive dude, and so everybody saw him because I saw him. I go, look, it's a Warfather, and Makuga goes, why are you wearing the helmet? And all you hear is, I'm the Warfather. 300 people. It was great.
I let Makuga goes, fair enough. Move it on.
It's so good. Jake Agavetta, I love this table. Salute. So fucking hard not to say spoilers on here right now, but shout out to the New British Empire for doing a live stream with Abby Friel's updates while it was going on. He has a lot of cool stuff going on. Abby Friel was there. A lot of the reactors who were nominated were there. The ones who couldn't, you were missed. So it was good. Suge Knight 323. Man, the draft and the awards was awesome. Got to hang with RB3 all night and talk about Magic Jordan. Yeah. Kristian, I wanted to thank you for introducing me to the Schmoedown. Also, shout out to the big rep of the Latin community, Ben Goddard. It was good. Did you hang out with Suge?
Oh yeah, we hung out, we talked. Yeah, he made a lot of great points for Magic. He made points that I didn't even think of. Yeah,
good stuff. Good stuff.
What does he advocate, Magic over Jordan?
Yeah, he's the one who started it.
No.
That's been the ongoing debate on the show.
We could go into it, but
Tim Sim, never have I woke up.
Today.
Tim Sim put in a Schmobot. Funky McClunky. Hey Kristian, I can't wait to see the awards and the draft. I just saw.
Sorry, RB3, but your rant doesn't hold water till you watch Harriet. It's way better than US, and Cynthia Erivo performance was breathtaking and way better than Lupita.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But I'm my point is like not towards Harriet. It's not against Harriet. Like it's
more. That's what the Academy's recognizing.
In an ideal world, you should nominate Harriet and Lupita and Awkwafina and all these.
You're
people.
not saying that she shouldn't be nominated. You're just saying that it's typically what gets nominated.
Yeah. They have a very specific checklist, and I bet you 100%. I didn't see Harriet. I bet you 90% of the Academy didn't see Harriet either.
Right.
So.
Right.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
So Funky McClunky. Hey Kristian, can't wait to see the awards and draft. I saw 1917 over the weekend, and holy cow, it's definitely my favorite movie that came out last year. Shout out to the Sausage Fest that we have going on there today. I wanted to ask, what is the funniest weed strain name that you all heard? I'll let you answer this one.
Oh man, that's a good one. I got to think about that.
Party at the Fart Tower.
Party at the Fart Tower. Green crack killed me the first time. I'm like, man, am I gonna? Yeah.
I can smell it.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of good ones for sure.
All right. It's Always Sunny in Philly. Sorry to keep talking about the Oscars. Well, that's what we're here for today. Yeah. But I was surprised that Frozen 2 got nominated for Best Song, but the movie got left out of Best Animated. I enjoyed it, and I thought it should have been in there before Missing Link, which I didn't really enjoy. Thoughts?
That I'll agree with.
That's what I mean. So, like, if you're gonna, will it win? Should it have won? Maybe not.
No.
But over Missing Link?
Yeah.
Come on.
Abominable's better than Missing Link.
Just the animation of Frozen 2 is so gorgeous. How they animated Elsa's powers and everything. And the story of these two women taking their kingdom on their back over an obsolete toy that's mad that he's not the favorite anymore.
By the way, I think they had a lot of controversy with Toy Story 4. I'm surprised they nominated that one because they had the whole thing of like they hired Maya Rudolph and a couple others, and then Maya Rudolph said that Pixar wasn't.
Oh, you mean
conducive.
Rashida Jones?
I'm sorry, Rashida Jones. I'm
Right.
I'm way off.
Wait, what happened?
They had Rashida Jones and somebody else.
Her writing partner is a guy.
Yeah. Involved in Toy Story 4, but they got fired. And then Maya Rudolph came out and said that she thinks the environment at Pixar isn't conducive to like female voices.
Right, they left. They didn't get fired. They left because they
left.
didn't like what was happening.
Yeah.
They didn't feel it was conducive. This was after the Lasseter stuff.
I did not see this.
So yeah, it was a big deal when they did it.
And so it's funny that Frozen 2 was directed by a woman about women, and they didn't nominate that, but they nominated Toy Story 4 instead. They had all that.
Yeah, and
it's crazy.
And I mean, it's still same company, but it's Pixar and Disney. Just Nolan De Palma. I mean, is anyone as happy as me that Florence Pugh got nominated? She has one of the best years. Also, Justice for Sandler and Egerton. Also, Gerwig for director. Love the show, everybody. RB3, you the man. Hey. Much love to all. Yeah, Florence Pugh is, to me, she's the next Kate Winslet, in my opinion. I think she reminds me of young Kate Winslet when she's up there, especially in Little Women.
Yeah,
I think she is an absolute powerhouse. I think what she did in Fighting with My Family is not talked about enough. Movie could have been nominated for that movie.
Midsummer, like
I didn't see that yet.
Midsummer's like a Best Actress nom, but again, it's like the Hereditary horror thing.
Yeah.
But her year, I'm so glad she got something, like because she's so good in everything.
She should have been double nominated.
I'll go you one better. I think she's the next Meryl Streep. I've never seen anyone.
A little too early for
I say Saoirse Ronan over that.
No.
Oh,
I think Florence. I think Florence can out Saoirse. Could you see Saoirse Ronan fight with my family? I could not, but I could see Florence Pugh be the lead of Little Women.
I could see Saoirse Ronan doing Midsummer.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
But I can see Florence doing all of Saoirse's roles.
I think she got more range.
She could do Brooklyn hands down. Those things are
I
incredible.
like Saoirse Ronan a lot.
Yeah, of course.
I think that Florence Pugh, she's a very rare talent.
I've never seen anyone with the instinctual talent she has at such a young age.
You've seen Hannah, though. You've seen Hannah with Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan is great.
Yeah.
But I just think that there's something about Florence Pugh that she just exploded on the scene for a reason.
Yeah.
And that movie that she did, what was the one with about Robert the Bruce that Chris Pine did?
Oh, the King?
Outlaw King?
The King?
Outlaw King.
Oh, Outlaw King.
Outlaw King was the one that I first said that. Because, sometimes actors and actresses, they come and go, oh, that person was good, and you forget. The second she hit the scene in that movie for me, I was like, who the hell is that? She's incredible.
Yeah, I saw Lady Macbeth was before that one, and when I saw that, I was like, who the hell is this? And she was like 18, 19 years old.
That's one with...
It's a British one where she's like at the house, and she's a young wife to this abusive guy, and this other person comes in. It's an incredible drama.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you to the almost 3,500 people we have in here today. Thank you so much. Glad you're joining us today. We're doing... we are going through... Because there are so many of you guys, and today we're going through all the streamlabs.com/Schmoedown, answering all questions. And we figured also, because the reason we're keeping it on and doing it this way is because there's so much you guys want to talk about with the Oscars, and I'm sure there's going to be something in about the Morbius trailer. Also, we'll get into that before we take off in a little bit, because we got to get to all of the donations here. We got to get to the super chat ones too. So a lot of cool stuff coming in here. Thank you, ladies and gents. Nicholas David Gallagher. Good afternoon from Millersville, PA. Ben, you ruined my trivia question for Rocha the other day. So
yes, I did. I did.
Yeah. So now you're going to test your mettle with one as can't read this one. In the category of animation.
Okay.
What film was Disney's first PG movie?
PG movie? I know the first PG-13 movie was Pirates of the Caribbean. The first PG movie, it's not Lion King. I'll say Pete's Dragon, the live action one.
You did not give me the answer, so I'm going to say sure. I have no idea. He didn't give me the answer.
He likes to get the answers in the second comment.
Yeah, he can give me. Oh, is that what he does?
Yeah, that's how he ruined it last time.
Because we got to the Streamlabs at the very end, and I read the answers.
All right, so you said what you said. What
Pete's Dragon.
So we'll find out what. Hopefully Nicholas puts in another one, tells us the answer. It's Always Sunny in Philly. I was also surprised to see Margot Robbie nominated for Bombshell.
Yeah,
I get Charlize because she was incredible as Morgan Kelly, but Robbie was good, but didn't think she stood out, and I loved her. It was good to see Florence nominated, though. I could not agree with you more. I would tell you that I think Nicole Kidman should have been nominated over Margot Robbie. I think Nicole Kidman had way more to do with that movie and had a stronger role. Not that Margot Robbie wasn't good. She was fine. But if you ask me the two stand-up performers, Charlize Theron all day. If it wasn't for Zellweger, I'm voting for Charlize Theron. Yeah. Zellweger, though, to me pulled out that once in a lifetime kind of career performance. You got to see that movie, dude, because she's
everything Joaquin did in Joker. She does in Judy.
Absolutely,
it's such a sad movie too.
It's a really sad movie, and the thing is, it's like when you first hear about that movie that she's playing Judy, you're like, really? you forget at times that she's not Judy Garland.
It's legit insane. And then I didn't realize how young Judy Garland was when she passed away.
Like, 46, 47? Yeah, she was young, man.
Yeah.
She was having troubles in her 20s, man. From
in
Hollywood.
Her teens,
teens too.
And they explore all of that. Right, it was just the way that Hollywood system was back then. I mean, shit, there was Twitter, she would have been saved a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's a crazy performance. She's great in it, but no, I just don't think that Margot Robbie did enough to overpower what Nicole Kidman did.
You're absolutely right, man, because it's her movie until Megyn Kelly shows up. Shows up. It is definitely Nicole Kidman's movie, and then she comes in and pops in. The one thing for Robbie is that one scene with Roger Ailes. That's an incredibly well acted scene. That's heartbreaking and uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah.
So you could say that's your kind of like scene you vote for. But I think Kidman across the board had more to do, like you said. Absolutely, Kristian. Yeah,
agreed.
They probably want to show her love for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too. So it was like they threw her in for Bombshell. Also showing up for Once Upon a Time.
Well, because a lot of people, I think, didn't you say that you thought she was going to get nominated for that one?
I said I wasn't going to be surprised.
The only thing with that is that she doesn't say anything. She doesn't say anything. But that I don't agree with. I agree with she doesn't say anything, and I don't know if I would have been okay with a nomination. But she does do something because you see why she's a star in that movie. Because when she hits the camera, obviously not just for the obvious reasons of her looks
and her feet.
In her feet, but there's something about her. It's just there's this electric energy about her that you cannot take your eyes off her. And again, it has nothing to do with how stunning she is, because she's a stunning woman. But when when she's dancing, when she's doing these things, it's what Tarantino is trying to convey. What his version of why this love letter to Sharon Tate is there. And that, to me, is why I understand people talking about that, about a potential, but I just didn't think it's enough to get nominated.
Yeah, that scene in the theater certainly proves your point. That when she's watching herself, that's a really incredibly beautiful
when she's taking the picture, she's like, "I'm in the movie."
Yeah.
You get why you love her and why you're supposed to love her.
Everybody loves her.
And you're watching it going, "Oh my god!" And then like it's
But see, that's what frustrates me about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because they could have went further.
Yes,
they could have because Roman Polanski was an abusive husband. Like that's confirmed through books
to her.
Yes, to her. Yeah. They could have had an element of that. They could have had a lot of different elements, but again, it's a love letter, so it's good to see.
I think that was the point, is that this is but that's the difference, though.
Yeah.
The reason why I would tell you that you're not going to see any of that, because this wasn't reality.
Yeah.
This was Quentin Tarantino's version of the way he saw it as a kid, and the other of the way of the way he wished life would be. And this is his crazy kooky characters that live inside of this world and the way he perceives Hollywood. And that's why it's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Right. And it's like
a fairy tale.
Yeah, it's not. It's you can't get when you can't get upset with the way that things are happening, or they didn't happen or weren't portrayed. In my opinion, is because that's not what the movie's about.
Right.
So that's why I think I loved it. Maybe because I saw people when the movie came out, I'm upset with this movie because the way that real life is like, but this isn't real life. This isn't, if it was, this is the way that this movie happened. There's a couple other things that were going down and we're portraying it, and we change up just this. The whole movie's a fairy tale.
Right.
And it's a love letter to Hollywood. So that's why I enjoyed the movie thoroughly. Yeah. Neil Carter, first time donation, long time SEN supporter. Well, thank you so much, Neil Carter. Pulling for Hair Love to win short animated film. Check it out if you've got a chance. You love this movie.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. What is it? Tell me about it.
It's directed by Matthew A. Cherry.
Yes.
And it's about a little girl. It's in an animated short film category. And it's about a little girl trying to experience like love, like black girl experiencing like her hair and trying to figure it out. It's really short. It's really sweet. I think it's even on YouTube. Oh, wow. So I'd highly recommend. Or if it's not on YouTube, it's on one of the streaming services.
So it's called Hair Love. Hair Love. Okay.
Yeah.
Rowett Kale puts in a nice Schmoebot. Thomas Lopez. Sup, guys? I've been a fan since I saw the Schmoes on Reel's Top 10. Don't you think it's a slippery slope to nominate something to be politically correct? I'm half Hispanic and I'm black, and I didn't have an issue with the nominations because they were great movies. So, Thomas, I think I agree with what you're saying here, but like I said, this is where I think that the addition of more nominations helps, because in my opinion, I think everyone in the director category, I think they deserve to be there. And even Todd Phillips, even hearing myself talking back, I think Todd Phillips does deserve to be there. But I do think that there should be more nominations to celebrate the great work of other people too, because I also think that both Greta Gerwig and give me Honey Boy.
Oh yeah, Alma Harrell.
Yeah, what she did. And what she did, because you have to remember this, she was the one who told Shia that no, we should go further into this, and you should play your dad.
Yeah.
And to be able, because that's like, yes, Shia has his story, and he wrote it, and it's his powerful performance that makes that movie.
Y'all done messed up. Doubting reactors who are hungry to win and been studying the game since before some of y'all even knew about the game. The Cinefanatics are ready. Unfortunate our points will be left on the table.
Wow.
Much love.
Yeah,
Hashtag for agents.
The Cinefanatics were there, and that's a great point, though, by the way. People who weren't drafted, they're like, oh, so does that mean I can't play? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means you're free agents. It means it's going to be tougher to get matches, but when you do play, you got to play to win, because then people are going to look and see how many points you get on the table. And I do love those guys.
Yeah,
I love
they're great.
A lot, and I always get them mixed up, and I apologize. And they're ambitious, because I can't walk 2 seconds like, hey, can I be in this? Hey, can I do that? Hey, can I be in this? And I go, I like it. I like it. But I also, but the respect that I give is at the end of the night, I think it was Jeremy, I don't remember, but he came up to me and he said to me, he said, listen, I just want to let you know, we're very appreciative of all this stuff, that we get to be in it too. And I know that that we keep asking you to be in stuff, and we want to do this too, but it's because we love it so much, and we really care. And I know they do, because their channel's awesome, and I think they got snubbed from a nomination.
I agree.
I think they're great. But I do like the ambitiousness too. It's just like, take a couple months before you ask again.
I love one of them. They saw the belt lying there, singles belt just lying there unattended.
And the Morbius trailer is crazy awesome. Have you all seen it? Also super stoked for the Schmoedown Showdown stuff. I watched the draft preview last night. Team Roxy and Team Rocha. Pretty bummed about RDJ not getting that nomination.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
best supporting for Iron Man.
Yeah, that was.
I didn't anticipate.
But let's talk about the Morbius trailer here too.
Okay,
sure. You know what? Hey, David, can you just turn the volume down on the Schmobot for a second? So just don't put a Schmobot in here too, because we're gonna talk about this trailer. I don't want to get interrupted doing it. I didn't know jack shit about this trailer. I didn't know
Morbius.
I don't know anything about the character. I didn't know anything about the character going in at all. And until it popped up as Marvel, as a Marvel character, I'm not gonna pretend that I knew about it. I knew nothing about it. And Jared Leto, I'm not a fan of. His acting, I am. His personality and from what I hear, the way he is in interviews, and the way he's kind of like holier than thou type thing and all that. I'm not a big fan of that. And you hear all the stuff that he did on Suicide Squad, not a fan of that. But this trailer looks awesome. I think that this to me looks like a pretty cool movie. And it was different. And it was the idea of kind of a different take on the vampire and how it all, and the way it ties in overall, what they did at the very end of this trailer, bringing, again, this is, if you haven't seen the,
it's a trailer. We could spoil the trailer.
Well, no, I don't want to spoil it, though, because if someone hasn't seen it, it just ties back into other movies that were made beforehand. Whether it's Venom or whether it's Spider-Man, there's little cameos that pop in, little things that happen that I thought, okay, this is a good way to connect, and this is a smart way to Sony to start to try to. Don't shove it in our faces. Like, just do it gradually. And this movie just kind of pops on the scene. I thought the music, the way that they did the classical music and put a new twist on it, I loved it. But did you like this trailer?
I absolutely loved it. I think, Morbius Living, I don't fault you for not knowing. A lot of people don't know who Morbius Living Vampire is, but it's fantastic the way they're approaching this thing. It's not trying to play fan service. It's not trying to overtly connect to anything else. It is its own thing. And perfectly like the character is in the comics, sometimes, as we were saying earlier about the Outlaw, sometimes he's a face, sometimes he's a heel, the Morbius is. And so the way they played that up in the trailer as well, you get this idea that he's like this crippled guy in the blood disease and all this kind of thing. What's that going to do to him? I think so much of what they presented was fantastic. So you can decide which way you're going to go. And the two things they tease, you're just like, oh, where are we going with this? So I think it was a well done trailer.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering how they're gonna. I mean, with Morbius, I like the trailer more than I did anything with Venom, because Venom, I think Heck Navarre tweeted, I was like, oh, Venom tried to risk his life to save the world. Now he's gonna turn around and fight a teenager, like Spider-Man. But with Morbius, you got that sense that he can turn on a dime, without any provocation, because he's a vampire.
Well, they're sticking with that anti-hero thing. It looks like, and I guess people are saying in the chat, true, you're right. If you haven't seen the trailer, then you probably shouldn't listen to this, because we should talk about it, because at the very end of this thing,
big thing.
It's a big thing that we should talk about. So if you haven't seen it, you should probably tune out here. But Michael Keaton shows up at the end here.
Yeah.
That's where are you going with it with that guy?
That was good.
So he anyway, Michael Keaton shows up at the very end of it, and it connects. And the question is, does it connect to the MCU? Does it connect to Sony movies? What does it connect to? Of course. What do you think?
I hope we get a Morbius versus Blade. If like that would never happen.
yeah.
I know it's Sony and MCU, but still,
all kinds of rumors about that happening. Actually,
wow, that'd be awesome.
I really hope so. No, I think literally, like you said, the connection to the MCU is what excites me the most. I find it interesting that they're doing this is kind of a new way of doing the superhero thing where they're doing the villains each getting their own movie and then they're gonna bring them all together. I'm guessing for a Sinister Six.
Yeah.
This is be a different Sinister Six. I don't think Morbius has ever been part of the Sinister Six.
No.
Maybe in like one iteration, like randomly, but that seeing this and obviously maybe Venom. We already know Scorpion's in this universe, and we know obviously Vulture. Yeah. So and I wonder if some way Mysterio is going to come back in some sort of way. But yeah, I mean those the implications of like this trailer and what this movie is going to be. It's kind of fascinating. I wonder if they've made all of this before the Sony pulling Spider-Man and getting it back. Like I wonder when in the process all of this is happening, but I'm super excited.
Because Mysterio can be anybody because it's the technology.
It's the technology,
yeah.
You'd have Michael Keaton be like, "Oh, aren't you you're like the Joker?"
The connection is great. I mean, look, if it's Keaton,
Batman and the Joker again.
Yeah, it would be absolutely. It would be bad. It was so bad.
It was Batman and the Joker.
Let me see your version.
My Batman was like, wait.
Yeah, because I mean, if Keaton is in Spider-Man Far From Home or Homecoming, and that Spider-Man is in the MCU, then by proxy, this is an MCU connection. So if they're going to make this all work a certain way, I think it'll be incredible to see. Because I mean, obviously they're planning for Tom Holland. He only has 2 more movies to do here, I think, and then jumps out back probably to Sony now fully. And so they've set this all up the way they do.
Unless he just says, "I'm out."
Yeah, maybe. But it's
How many movies is
but that Spider-Man comes back because that Spider-Man that you see in the trailer also is not a Spider-Man that technically looks like any other Spider-Man. It looks more like Tobey's.
It's the Raimi suit.
Yeah, it looks more like Tobey's Spider-Man. And if that happens, Holy Mary, Mother of God, if you bring back Tobey Maguire to be Spider-Man in this universe and take over Tom Holland.
No, but Tom Holland seems like he needs Spider-Man because Uncharted is never happening.
Never, not with him. I mean, he'll be Rocha's age by the time it happens.
He's gonna play Sully by the time it happens.
I know, it's true.
There's no way to replace Tom Holland, though, I think, because there's just so much money on the table.
Right.
These have been the biggest Spider-Man films they've ever made.
Most successful as far as consistent. I mean, even though it's only been 2, but he's been in a lot of the Marvel movies.
Made $1 billion.
Yeah,
crazy.
but so speaking of $1 billion, by the way, it's like, as much as whatever you want, whatever your opinion is on Rise of Skywalker, like anybody who said, well, that movie's a failure, it's going to cross $1 billion like next week or whatever it is too. So it made a lot of money. People, it just shows you though that especially if you put it on in December, Star Wars will make money, and you put it out there and you do it the right way. I think Solo would have made about $500 or $600 million if you would have put it in December. And you guys know I love Bob Iger. That was one of the dumbest things Bob Iger ever did, was to fight for that movie to be out in May, because Lucasfilm did not want it to be in May. They wanted it in December. It's one of the dumbest things that he's ever done, and he'll admit it. And
they probably could have used more time too. They probably could have used
2 weeks, dude. It was 2, and all they were promoting was Infinity War.
Yeah,
and Solo got buried. And I think Solo's an okay movie. It doesn't stink. It's just okay. But even that okay movie could have done big box office in December, because there was nothing out in December.
So you're approaching it from a business point of view. That makes sense, right? Right, because
that's
where you want to drop
like
it.
Aquaman was like the only thing.
Aquaman. Look at the money Aquaman.
Yeah, because it was by itself.
Yeah, Aquaman made a lot of money. So it was all by
at the same time made $400 and something million worldwide.
Was that year?
It was that year. It's Aquaman.
So yeah, exactly.
If you make a good movie,
people come in December.
If you make a good movie in December, it will make money.
It'll make money.
1917, like we're seeing that.
Yeah, right.
Hand over fist.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yep. All right.
Big.
Okay, let's get back to this. Was now some bump. All right, now we get to Arcadio. How many? I don't know who put in a Schmoebot. Hotel Nerd put in a Schmoebot. You can put the Schmoebot back on, David. And Nick Piccolo. Whatever.
David's like, oh, okay.
No, I already got it.
You did it a long time ago. Okay, good. Nick Piccolo. Since everyone is agreeing on the Oscar nominations and the internet is very happy this morning, sarcasm by the way, who would you guys switch out in the nominations? I think we covered a lot of that obviously today. But Andrew DiMolanta. Hey, Rocha, check your Twitter. Trying to get you on Beyond the Schmoedown. Please DM me.
I'm on a show. I can't check my Twitter right now.
He's just
but I will probably check it after. Yeah, thank you, Andrew.
I'll probably check it.
Yeah, his show. I met him and his wife were at the awards, and that's quickly becoming one of my favorite Schmoedown shows.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, they're really good.
I didn't know they're married. People shouldn't get married that young. Kristian.
No, I don't. He's not as young as you think he is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He looks like 22.
No, I think he's in his 30s.
Parker's 12, right? Robert Parker's 12.
Yeah,
Robert Parker, by the way.
He can do magic. Robert Parker can do magic. It's amazing.
That's something I know his shtick. But Robert Parker, by the way, he looks like he's 13 years old.
He looks like the kid from Revenge of the Nerds. The little kid.
I love Robert Parker.
Pull it up.
I love this.
I love him too.
No, but he does. He look. So he walked into, and he's like 23 or whatever he is, right?
What?
He's walking around with whiskey, and so I looked at him. I go, "What's that? Apple juice?" And he goes like, "No, whiskey."
Everyone,
Shut
please
it down.
support everyone on Patreon in their live streams. Action Industries, Roxy, Riley, Rocha, Koi, Videotour, and everyone else putting out great content. And Ben Goddard on Twitch too, I guess. Low, love you, bagel boy.
Nice.
Hey.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, but Robert Parker is great. He's awesome. I love that
Well,
kid.
especially because you guys have been talking him up so much, and just like in your mind, like this intimidating person.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he was going to be 6'2".
Then like
Did
I
you?
was putting wristbands on people's like Robert Parker. I was like, shut up.
You're Robert Parker?
Yeah.
And then you're going to see, though, that kid's going to come in like a hurricane.
Yeah, I don't doubt like his trivia knowledge, but like in your mind, you build this build the barbarian in your mind, and then it's Robert Parker.
I will say that no one thought that Robert Parker went to who he was going to and where he went.
No.
I will say
That
that.
was the first shock of the night.
Big one.
I think biggest surprise of the night.
All right, going back over here to
booster seats for
SB Stewart. I was at the awards and draft. What'd you say? He was on a booster seat?
So we got to get booster seats for the awards.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you better hope he doesn't. Now he's going to take the. Well, look, he's part of the league now. It's like you know
what?
It's
He
part of the
rolled with
hazing.
all the jokes.
Yeah.
Robert Parker is a great guy because all the ball busting was happening in the after party, and he was just rolling with it all.
He knows.
He's
It was
great.
You come into the league now, you better be ready for it.
And I'm
Especially
sorry,
you old farts.
Yeah.
Robert Parker has game because he was doing magic tricks for all the ladies.
Yeah.
And one of the magic tricks involves like a tattoo on his shoulder. And he was like, oh,
Because
it's like,
of course, I bet you that kid gets laid like crazy. It's like, where you want to go? You want to get out of here? Fine, pick me up. Let's leave. I'm telling you, I love that kid. I'm telling you.
I talk about magic.
Yeah, this kid's like a 6'3" bodybuilder carrying him out. I can see it. I can see it happen. SB Stewart. I was at.
you can't just move on from that.
This is like Master Blaster Barbarian on top
sure
of
that's what
Robert
they call
Parker.
him, Master Blaster.
Brilliant.
That's really good.
So brilliant.
Hold my bow tie. Oh man, and the good pickers we're in a delay. Wait until the audience catches on to this. Oh man, Rob Parker's gonna start getting tweeted, and he's gonna be like, "What the hell is going on?" And by the way, you can go to the Facebook group. I mean, you talk about everybody. You will get spoiled there, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Facebook group. Go to the Schmoedown group. Yeah, I do. That kid rules. He's definitely gonna get a lot of shit from a lot of people for sure. And I can't wait to see like some of the promos that are cut against him when he comes in too.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see. Let's get to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of great Streamlab questions coming in here today, so thank you so much. Conversation's been great. It's one of the fun things that just kind of dictates the conversation throughout the day. SB Stewart, I was at the awards and the draft. It was a great event. I can't wait to see the videos, especially for the interviews with Jen and Emma. Yeah, and I will also tell you another reason that you shouldn't miss it. There is a big announcement as far as the Brooklyn show. There's a big announcement that happens in the beginning of the awards and the end of the awards. So and that comes up today. So you should watch that to find out what's going on with Brooklyn. It's pretty massive. So make sure you check that out today. Anthony Persak. You pronounce my name differently every time. It's Persak. I just said Persak. Anyway, thanks as always. Keep one, lose one for books and films. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. Also, Rocha, I've been waiting for 3 years, and I'm hoping to finally get a Logan commentary.
Yeah.
Did you do one on your channel?
Yeah, I will totally do one on my
should,
channel.
as well.
And I'll even invite Dennis Zen to come on because Dennis and I wanted
to do it
for
together.
Collider.
You should.
So absolutely. I love Dennis.
I'll lose the Harry Potter books. Hands down. It's not even close.
But then it means you.
No, Harry Potter movies. Sorry.
So
I'll keep the books.
Keep the books.
Keep the books for Harry Potter.
Keep the.
Oh yeah, I totally keep the Lord of the Rings books and.
Yeah, Harry Potter movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes the most sense.
Selfishly, I would do the same.
Yeah.
For my daughter, I would do the opposite. because she's Harry Potter. If I did that and she knew that I was the one that did it, I wouldn't. She'd be pissed.
She'd never talk to you.
No, she'd be mad at me. Justin T. Hello from Rochester, New York. Twitter spoilers for the draft. It just got me hyped, to be honest with you. I was at WWE Next live event in Buffalo last night.
Nice.
John Quasto did the hosting duties. Wrestling was great, and he was working the crowd. You, Roxy, and Mike got to be proud of him. I'm super proud of Johnny LaQuasto, man. He's been working hard for a very long time, and then wrestling's his passion. It's been and there's no. It was just a matter of time before he started working there. So, okay, Adelaide. No spoilers for the awards, but from what I heard, it was an amazing event, and I can't wait to go next year. 2020 is already shaping up to be incredible. It's going to be. I can't wait, and hopefully, I think this week, by the end of this week, there's going to be a lot more conversation about the Schmoedown, a lot more. So I hope by the end of this week. So I'm sorry to be so vague, but we're gonna have a lot of things that we can probably talk about. Hopefully, if it all goes down. D Perry 83, Rocha. Yo, what did you and your good lady think of the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special?
Oh, absolutely love it.
Are you going to London this time or traveling again? Love all you guys. Thanks for being a ray of sunshine in these dark times. Dan Stoke, UK. Tongue punch the fart box is the hashtag. All right, go ahead.
Hey, real quick, Dan Stoke, thank you so much. First, we're massive fans of Gavin and Stacey. We actually went to Barry Island and took pictures where they shoot that sitcom. It's a Welsh sitcom. Okay. Yeah. It's a really funny, great sitcom. And they did a Christmas special. They hadn't been together in 10 years. There was issues between James Corden and the lead guy before. They got kind of hammered it all out, and they did the special. It is fantastic. And yes, we're going back to London May 2nd for the top 10 live. We're in the 400-seat theater there at King's Place, so go and get your tickets.
You're going to miss Boston. It's the day we're in Boston.
Oh, yeah?
No. Okay. So
it's all right. The whole rock star. Never mind.
Yeah. All right. DP. Well done. Well done. Yeah, I know. But this is my point, though. By the way,
I'm sorry.
No. But this is my point for those people who are patrons, and so I can understand. It is so hard for Rocha right now to not spoil on this show, and it's Monday, right? To not spoil for what we were trying to do for you guys on this show. So you got to understand that and the hype of it and what people wanted to say, and this is 2 days later of all the things he wants to say and is able to say. When we're actually able to talk about it even more so, we're going to really lock into this thing. DP, I know there's Raymond Fritz. If you guys could pick an MCU movie for each of the Oscar categories, what would you choose? Wow. I would score for Alan Silvestri. Off topic, but Kristian, my name is pronounced Raymond, but I don't mind you saying it wrong because everyone does. What I say, Ramon? Yeah. What's it? Ramon. Thanks for everything that you do during the show. And there were these two guys that came up to me after the awards too, and they told me, he's like, I donate all the time, and you've never got my name right. And he told me, and he started to say it, and I even as he said it to me, I repeated it to him. No chance I got it. No chance. It's not my strong point. But I know how to spell Geppetto. Go ahead.
No, I have nothing to add to.
You have nothing to add to?
There's some great fans.
The MCU movie was
Oscars.
Movie.
Best Picture?
Best Pick.
MCU?
I don't know. Not for Endgame, but I love Endgame.
No. They're asking which MCU film would you make Best Picture? Would you say Best Actor? Like from the MCU films.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So by the way, Suge Knight has I'm so glad he brought this up because I want to bring this up. Suge Knight 323 says, also Kristian, you lied to the fans. The kitchen was not open at the Comedy Store. Also, without spoilers, who had the best moment? Guy, Rocha, or Shannon? And how can you not be a fan of Shannon now? She's taking over the Schmoedown. All right. So the first part of the kitchen. I found that out when I was in the backstage 5 minutes before the show starts. I turned to Ellis and I go, because I said, let's order some food. And someone goes, the kitchen's not open. I go, well, yeah, it is. It was open last year. It's open. He's like, no, they said it's not open. And I'm like, what? So I turned to Ellis and I go, is the kitchen open? He's like, nah, they couldn't do it. I didn't press him on it. I'm like, but you got to tell me that.
Yeah.
Because I told everybody the kitchen was open.
I don't know how anybody was drinking.
Yeah,
I had a banana from Starbucks before, and I was dying from my coffee. I was jittery.
I was starving, and the kitchen was open last year. So I just naturally assumed. I told Thad beforehand. I said, "Let me know what the crew gets, and we'll just put it on the tab." And it wasn't. So I haven't talked to Ellis because I know how Ellis gets right beforehand and everything too. I wasn't going to start getting into. He's going to be on the show on Wednesday, so I'll let him yell at me on the show when I ask him about it because he'll do the thing with the lip that he does when he gets mad. But like. The thing is that Comedy Store is you don't understand how accommodating they were for what we got the main room for. They don't let a lot of people shoot in that main room. They don't let a lot of people shoot in there, hence why we couldn't live stream and everything too. And so I would much rather get the Comedy Store main room, air it on Tuesday as opposed to live streaming someplace that we have to pay an extra amount of dollars for, not have the thing, never been there for it. But I should have checked in with Ellis again to confirm that the kitchen was going to be a 4.5 hour event.
I blame Megan.
Megan should have known.
Megan's a stage man. She should have known.
I'll yell at her today.
Yeah, yell at her.
Megan works way too hard.
I'm just giving you shit. Megan, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Anybody want to answer the MCU Oscar thing?
Well, clearly, that was the last question. But go ahead.
Oh, I just didn't know. No one answered.
We did.
it.
I did answer it. I said that I think that Alan Silvestri should have been nominated.
Are they saying just for this year or just any MCU
Oscar
movie?
categories for if you could pick an MCU movie, I guess for each of the Oscar categories, what would you choose?
I'd go best original screenplay, Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's a good one.
Or best adapted, technically. I'd put, well, I mean, what is it's adapted?
It is adapted. It's adapted from a comic book. Yeah, it's true.
That's what it is. I mean, we're starting up the Schmoedown match already. I mean,
that's true. That's right.
I put Black Panther for best picture.
Yeah,
it was nominated.
Yeah. All right. Shug9323 also. So without spoilers, who had the best moment? Guy, Rocha, or Shannon?
Shannon.
Barney.
Yeah.
Yes.
She had the best moment of the night, hands down. I think that by a landslide.
The room went nuts.
She is going to decimate this league. She's incredible.
So I was texting with every one of the managers yesterday. Another reason why we had to do the spoilers because we had to
The love for Once Upon a Time is sickening.
Hey.
The movie is overrated.
Hey.
The quarter of the film is unnecessary and the ending was dumb.
Hey.
Defoe Bale and Song Kang-ho were robbed.
Agreed.
What do you guys think of No Shadow in cinematography or Atlantic and Foreign? 1917 boo.
Boo.
Boo to you. Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree. What did he ask the last part of it? What was the last part?
We'll say something about 1917.
I have to look. I'll go back.
Oh, the foreign language thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the foreign language. I don't know. But so who I guess that he was also saying
Song Kang-ho was snubbed, who was the dad in Parasite.
Oh,
and I thoroughly agree.
Parasite got like a lot of technical awards, but the acting in that movie's so good.
Yeah,
like
and Park So-dam as well. She was fantastic as the sister.
Yeah.
Those are the two for me that stood out.
Akaveta, Hotel Nerd, and Mike Eck put in Schmobots. Douglas Johnson said, Rocha, since you're on the show, how about we talk some wrestling here? And Tessa Blanchard, owie wowie. Well, he didn't say necessarily what in wrestling, but is there...
She gave a speech after her match when it went dark, talking about stuff that was going on with her on social media. So
like what?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a pretty good speach.
Like what?
Let people find out.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, it's that kind of stuff.
Okay, we'll have to take a look. We'll have to take a look. Let me see. I want to get more into because there's still a lot of these. That's great. Mike Concho says the biggest Oscar sub that no one's talking about is Morgan Freeman for Star Wars. that clip finally is taken off because we put it on the YouTube channel. If you haven't seen, we put Morgan Freeman as Jar Jar Binks. Josh Robert Thompson was in here and did just as a spot-on impression, but that's one of the best moments I think ever. Schmoes, Collider, whatever. It was so funny. So check that out for sure. Ryan, I stayed up to 2 a.m. in Ireland following the draft. Rocha had my heart racing. I'm so glad everything is okay now. I feel Dagnino is the best manager for both Rocha and the Horsemen. People always disrespect Tom as a manager and Rocha as a competitor. I'll tell you this.
Yes, they do.
I'll tell you this. There is a moment that happens that you will find out at the awards because we're not cutting it. I'll tell you that. And Rocha lost his mind. There's parts of it, and I told him so much. I told him as much. I called him and said, "You're being a lunatic. Cut it out." And he made his points, and I told him even on the phone. I said, "Listen, from what you're saying, I get, and this is what Tom should have done." And we all agreed that Tom should have done one particular thing. But you might have overreacted. You said that too.
I didn't say overreacted.
You said overreacted.
I said
your lady said you were overreacting.
Well, that's her opinion.
You said I overreacted. Tombstone's not a Western, and
but either way, what I did say, you were hot.
Yes, I was hot.
And what I saw was people don't understand how real it gets between all the factions because Ben was on the phone trying to talk to Rocha, and Rocha wanted nothing to do with Ben.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
I answered the phone like this. What?
Yeah. You told him to fuck off at one point.
Oh, I did. And when I came back to the table because he tried to talk to me about it, I was too hot.
He was confused. He didn't know what was going on.
Dan knew what was right. Dan left me alone. He knows.
Dan just got it out of the way. But so Ben and Rocha are on the phone. And
Bateman, not me.
No, Bateman. And it's just not. So and Bateman was shithoused. Right?
Oh
Bateman
my
was
God,
shithoused. The drunkest I've ever seen Bateman. And Bateman, I go, what's
His
going
hair
on?
fell
He
flat.
goes, you want to talk to me, mad at me. You're telling me, mad at me. Sound like 2-year-old. And he's like, I'm mad. I said, Rocha, I said, John, and he couldn't talk to me. And I said, well, probably couldn't understand a word you're saying. It's probably part of it. So then I see Dagnino on the corner, and Dagnino's like, look. And he's doing his thing. And he's on the phone for at least 15 minutes, and he comes up, he's like, we're good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I see he's like, talk to him. I got it. He's like, he should be tweeting us something different. So I checked Rocha's tweet, and it's a different tweet.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's how good Dagnino is. He knew, and so people don't give him enough credit.
I was ready to battle with Tom. I was ready to battle Tom. Tom was like, okay, but listen, this. I go, but I said this, and you should have been. He's like, all right, I see that now. You're right. And I told him, I said, you got to understand, you have a bunch of stallions. And we all got to figure each other out in 2019.
Right.
Now there are more stallions. So you got to understand, if you're going to manage us, you got to understand man to man how to manage, or man to woman how to manage us.
He's dealing with 10 egos.
Yeah.
10 egos.
I told him.
All right,
you better be aware of it.
Neil Carter and Nightwolf put in Schmobots. Shane Joel, should I go watch Just Mercy today? I haven't seen it yet. Did you guys see Just Mercy?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
All right.
How's Michael B?
Michael B's fine. I don't hate him like you do.
I don't hate him either. I don't hate him either.
You just don't like him.
I just think the movie was kind of Lifetime.
Yeah.
Again.
All right. Charles King, Schmobot, Knapsack's ponytail. I'll have to go back and count the heel face turns by Rocha. Maybe I exaggerated it.
Maybe you did,
But
ponytail.
Bibiani, on the other hand, last night tweeting that most of Disney releases this year have been misses. That's a real life heel turn. Yeah, I mean, again, box office. Bibiani in general is a contrarian. So
I would say he's a contrarian.
Sometimes when it comes to film, I'm talking about film opinions. Like a lot of times when you see, we were talking
He
about
defended
before.
Cats.
But that's what I mean.
Yes, he did.
But that's what I mean, though. That's what he does. It's like he loves those, and I'm not
Loves that
taking away.
attention,
I'm not taking away from his opinion and the attention of it. But there's something. He's got a very different opinion, and that's what he's supposed to do as a critic. But like he loves that. He'll put up a fight like for Jupiter Ascending, and because that's what he likes to do. But then
he loves Hellboy this year.
Yeah, but then and then he'll take a stance against something like 1917, and it's like so. I don't know. I mean, that's just like, but that's why he does what he does.
But Bibiani is good at defending his position.
Yeah,
I always respect.
I was going to add that,
Yeah.
like he can.
So
perfectly articulate why he feels the way he feels. It's not like
it's not like someone who weighs like 30 pounds throwing a rock and going, let's fight. This is a dude who goes, no, I'm gonna throw my rock and then I'm gonna have a full on battalion with me with my. He's got an arsenal of.
He's not a YouTube commenter.
No, his words are weapons, and he knows he's very good at that, and that's why I think he takes a lot of the stands.
Yes, he always has an informed opinion.
Absolutely, he does. Yeah. Yes,
I love battling with him.
Yeah, I'm sure. Mike Honcho.
RB3 needs to go back to bed. He is high. Black Panther is Best Picture. If the third act wasn't Mortal Kombat Annihilation CGI the whole time and was a practical effects finale, then I'd agree. Best Western hands down is Tombstone Fight Me.
I'll fight you. RB3 and I will take you to the Woodhouse. I'll tell you.
Come after both you guys.
No, I mean, listen. The third act may have a little bit too much CGI, but the first two acts are really amazing.
Yeah,
and it literally builds up to an ending where there's a civil war. Like you don't get better than that.
Yeah, and I've said this 100 times. Tombstone is not a Western, for God's sakes.
Kristian Thorpe. I'm watching the old Schmoedowns. I'm noticing how many questions were repeated. Was that by design? Finstock would have won so many more matches if you just watched previous episodes. In the beginning, because we didn't have a lot of writers, but now this season, you're going to see a lot of questions repeated this season because we're just redoing the whole entire thing. So recycling questions from seasons 1 through 6. So
RB3 might have a chance against me.
Wow. I didn't even come in here ready to take shots, but I mean, if we want
you didn't come in ready, but you took the first one.
What's the first? When I snitched on you?
That stank. Stanky butt booty. The Oscars are infallible. A bunch of rich older folks deciding how to distribute the love among everyone else? When has that ever gone wrong? Love to all.
Now, again, here's the thing. Again, to reiterate, the rich part, they're all actors and directors and producers and everything too. But it's also people don't understand that the voting committee are from each they're all peers. They're all the same.
It's not everybody you see in the room.
It's not like 6 people from that were on the Titanic together go, no, I think that I should nominate this person. No, Chloe. It's not that.
It's good.
It is. There's people from all over, directors and writers, and they all make up the Academy. It's not like 6 people. Like the foreign press is a different thing the way they do it. But so it's not that easy to just say it's that part of society. They're mostly all rich people. A lot of them are.
It's very complicated too, because sometimes, and I've having been in this city for 20 years now, you'll hear the stories from other people where they've been assistants to people who have votes, and they just go, you vote. You. I haven't seen these movies. You vote. And they give it to their assistants to vote. So you can't even pin it on the actual person who's supposed to be voting sometimes.
Yeah,
so
it's the whole system in general that needs an overhaul.
I agree.
Brandon Lindsay, thank you guys so much for giving me a sport to actually follow and geek out about. I followed the draft on Twitter. People were doing that all weekend.
Yeah, man.
So RB3 did a great job.
Yeah, but just to show, I mean, again, to answer those patrons, this is why we did it. It created a buzz.
Even on Sunday with like doing the 8, 9, 10 things, Twitter was going crazy.
It created a buzz, guys. So I mean, you can either hopefully you get it. I understand where you're coming from, and I was talking and I going back with the patrons. The answer why did we do it this way? It created a buzz. So follow the draft on Twitter. Every faction just has some amazing players. This season is going to be insane. It's been amazing seeing you grow the Schmoedown. Love you guys. You have no idea. And I can't wait to share more. Yeah. Mr. K. Hey, guys. First-time donator here. Have you guys seen the news today about Mayor Garcetti making a push for more Latina inclusion in Hollywood, in movie entertainment? As a Latino, this gives me some hopes after. Hashtag Oscar So White. Hashtag Viva La Raza. No, I didn't see that. Did you see that?
I did not see that because I've been here. So maybe it dropped while we were in here.
Yeah. Eric Garcetti is a great mayor, though.
He
actually was an intern in high school.
Were you?
Nice.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Joe the Giant. All of the categories, minus Best Picture, should be expanded to 7 nominees. Between the streaming service and the smaller studios like A24, more movies are getting released than ever. The Academy should reflect that. I agree. I think that they should move it around. Cinefanatics put in a Schmoedown. Nicholas David Gallagher. Ben's incorrect. The answer for the Disney is the Black Cauldron. Also, a brief change of topic. Some people can separate art from the artist, but can you separate art from the studio? I will explain why when I ask another Streamlab coming up. I like what he does here.
Wow, that's a good setup.
I like that.
On the next Dragon Ball Z.
That's right. Felipe Lopez. SEN.
What is your definition of a Western? Cowboys and Indians? Movies that are not Westerns are American Outlaws, Cowboys and Aliens, and Wild Wild West.
Yeah, what's your definition of not a Western?
Something that isn't a Western. Something that doesn't occur in the West. I mean, like, how?
Well,
Tombstone is a Western.
Well, so is Once Upon a Time.
The hardest one is Old Man. I'm sorry, No Country for Old Men. People tell me that's a Western. That's a hard one for me to say it's a Western, but it is considered a Western.
Yeah,
and that's tough
for
me
because
Hell or High Water is a Western.
Hell or High Water. See, that's tough for me.
Really?
Because there's to me, Westerns imply horses. It implies that time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I
you
don't
think
go
it's different type of genre.
Right. Modern, like McCabe and Mrs. Miller. That's a great neo-Western in the '70s from Altman, but it's not necessarily what I would consider a Western.
But you say Logan's a Western.
Logan is a Western because of the Shane reference within the film itself. It's emulating a Western. Right.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a fair argument for a Western, though, I think. Because it invokes there's 3 eras of Westerns, right? The classic era.
And there's tons of references
yes,
to
there
Western.
are.
Yeah. And
it's a fair point.
It's the TV Western. It's about TV Western.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a fair argument.
Good point.
Yeah.
Nicholas David Gallagher, who just put that one in. Felipe Lopez put in the Schmoedown about the Morbius trailer. Garth McMurray, you guys keep having Sausage Fest shows. You should have Adam Gertler bring in some of his world-class sausages. That dude can cook like a mother.
Doghouse.
After Rocha compared Florence Pugh to Meryl Streep, I now really want to see Meryl in a movie as a female wrestler. Love all you guys. Hashtag Rockstar.
Yes. She did River Wild. Don't put it past her.
I know, it's true.
Oh, River Wild's so good.
She can do action.
That's true. David, back to Nicholas David Gallagher, separating art from the studio. I won't watch anything made by Amazon, such as Honey Boy or The Goldfinch, because of their #1 appearance on NCOSE's Dirty Dozen list, a list of businesses that profit off of human trafficking. What do you guys think? Ooh. Yeah, I mean,
people getting deep today.
But I understand the stance on it. You know, I understand the stance on it.
Well, I mean, even there's been like articles about like how bad they treat their actual workers.
Well, that's what Gervais said. Ricky Gervais said it on the whole thing, on the Golden Globes. Toby Thrawn, I'm super excited about Morbius. I'm a huge fan of Leto, both in music, at least the first 3 to 4 OSTM albums. Last one wasn't for me. And acting, Mr. Nobody is one of my all-time favorite movies. Also, I'm really excited to see how Sony and MCU were going after this. That, to me, is the most intriguing thing on the way that they tied it together. It looks like there was some thought that went into it. So I like that. See that guy over there. I know we're talking Oscars today, but how about Tina Fey and Amy Poehler coming back to host the Golden Globes? Cool, but why announced so early?
Yeah. I guess to kind of push back against the Gervais backlash that was happening.
Safer?
Yeah.
Sure, we're going safe again next year.
Yeah, but, whatever. It's the Golden Globes.
I know. That's true.
They're great, though. I love them.
As doorstops.
They are great,
Yeah, let's do this.
Wait, what'd you say?
Nothing.
No, you're talking about Golden Globes at doorstop.
Yeah.
He's talking about Amy Poehler and Tina
I'm sorry. I meant the Golden Globes endorsed.
Saved you on that.
Thank you
one.
for saving me.
Yeah.
What I meant was it's not a Western.
Someone clip that out.
Yeah, I know. It's true.
Andy Poehler is not a Western.
Do you think that is funny? Because I'll bring it some other time. I don't want to get you in trouble. Also, yeah. Cutter Hale just did that. Let's see. Cutter Hale did. Hey guys, hoping everyone's having a great day. Friday night was hard, and I watched some of the SEN clips, and you guys just cheered me up. So thank you. I was happy Ford versus Ferrari was nominated for Best Picture.
So awesome being able to shake hands with everyone at the table here today except DMF this weekend.
Yeah.
The energy in that room was incredible, and it was great talking to all the personalities and the other fans. Got to meet Suge Knight 323 in
That's
person.
awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Suge's a good dude. He's one of my moderators. I'm gonna try.
I didn't get to hang
nice.
with him, but I was kind of running the whole damn thing. But no, I missed that DMF wasn't there though too. We talked about it. You had some shit going down.
I had some shit going on, but
Yeah.
I wanted to be there.
I know you did.
Yeah,
You're always at all the events if you can.
Yeah, and I was tweeting and I was posting some stories and stuff. But.
So you saw the draft stuff going on. It was pretty. I mean, it caught on. You had to do the social stuff. So you saw it was. You understood the method behind our madness.
Yeah, no, there was no choice really, but yeah, it was great. Actually, I actually liked it more, and I think it's going to be better when the video comes out now.
I think so too. I think people are really excited about it now that there's even more talk to see how it all kind of played out.
He's like a living vampire himself, DMF. He comes
really
out of
is.
nowhere.
It's true.
He's like, I take a picture. I'm like, what the fuck you doing?
That's true. I'll tell you. No, you know who that is? That's Hoyk. Mark Hoyk.
Oh, Hoyk.
I love Mark Hoyk.
Hoyk is the best.
Dude, Mark Hoyk showed up where we were at the Comedy Store and then where Dan had his birthday over at the Den. He had it early, so I went there first. Right, and it's a fair walk from the Comedy Store there. So I was there with Brett and my buddy Naveed and a couple other people, and Kaiser showed up and Robert Parker showed up, and we were talking to all of them. And then we turned around. We didn't see him walk in. We just turned around and Mark Hoyk's just standing there.
Yeah,
and he's like he's wanted to be there with his team, his new team, and everything. We were talking, and then I'm like, okay, so we left him, and we went back to the Saddle Ranch. We got there, and that motherfucker was there.
Yeah,
and we left first, and like we drove. He walked, or flew,
like apparated,
whatever it was. He was there, and I was like, "This guy is magic." Him and Robert Parker could do magic together because it was. What a bunch of characters we have coming into this thing next year.
Hoyk came up. Gilmore and I are having this great conversation, just great conversation. Hoyk comes up, and we're like, "David," and he stands. He goes. Then he puts his hands on the chair. He goes, "Gentlemen." And then he stares out.
Yeah.
And Brad, for 5 minutes, didn't say a word to us. And Brad and I are like,
I love it. I love it. We have so many great. I asked to run a wrestling league. I'm running it. I really am.
You got it.
I really do have one. You guys see all these characters. Now, this was the most inside of this room that I looked around and I said, oh, man, everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. Finally, everybody gets it.
Yep.
Like, it took a while for us to get there, but it's like everybody gets it. So, okay, so now we get we had Cutter Hale. Oh yeah, and by the way, speaking of Cutter Hale, who the people who keep tweeting me this, and I don't think everyone's aware, we do have a clip out channel. By the way, you got to go to SEN Clips, and not everybody can watch the full show all the time, but it's featured on this channel. But SEN Clips, go there if you want to clip out. There's a lot of the show, a lot of the craziness that happens on the show, a lot of the topics we talk about. Ben clips them out, sends them to RB3. RB3 clips them out and puts them up on the channel. Steve Frederick, I have a list of movies I have to see to be more well-rounded movie reviewer. One of those was City of God. I think I've heard Rocha sing its praises many times. Can you guys share your thoughts on it? I've never seen it. I need to see it.
That is a brilliant film.
Yep. Incredible film about crime in Brazil and what people go through.
Dennis loves it.
Yeah, it's one of the most brutally honest films I've ever seen about that situation. And Gomorrah, I would put Gomorrah and City of God in the same conversation.
Yeah, that's up there too. And I know you like the one who
Satsi.
Which one was that one?
That was Gavin.
Gavin Hood.
Right, yeah. You like that movie, you will love City of God.
Yeah, I love
Satsi.
Yeah. It's a good movie. It's a very good movie.
Jake Agavetta put in a show about Bob Arnold. Had a blast at the draft. I sat by at RB3 when the video messed up and he yelled disrespectful. I died. Did you yell it?
Well, no, because the audio cut out and then
Kate made the joke.
Yeah, Kate was like, "Is this SEN live?"
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
What happened with that video, by the way? Do we know?
I don't know.
I'm guessing because Eric likes to put those pauses before they hit again, and
they thought it was over.
I'm guessing the Comedy Store is like, okay, that's it, and hit the lights.
That's okay. We can put the full thing in the
and I tweeted to Eric. I was like, you need to post that ASAP because I knew it was how it was ramping up.
Guest interview idea if you can get him. Jason David Frank. I'd love to meet him in person one day. Also, best interview I seen Kristian do with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I didn't even say anything to Jean-Claude Van Damme. I just said, "How are you?" And he's like, "Well, I tell you this." And he went to, "You want a cookie?
Do you want a cookie?"
He said to me, "Do you want cookies?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you want milk?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you have your green card?" I said, "Yes." I did not have my green card. And like it was just, I mean, it was bananas.
You got to get him in the Schmoedown.
I would. Are you kidding me? I would love to. I'd like to have him versus Gary Busey in the Schmoedown. Jake Acavetta put in that Schmoedown. Bob Arnold said that he sat by RB3 when the video messed up and he yelled disrespectful. He died. Makuga busting my chops for my beard and my long hair was hilarious. All the competitors couldn't have been nicer. Thanks for a great time. Thank you for being there. I'm glad so many fans got to experience it too. Like I said, there were over 300 people in the audience. It was amazing. Yeah. Jay Boogie put in a Schmoebot. Ferris Muthana. To get ready for this season, I started to watch old matches, as you said. I watched Mike versus Mara, the IG match, and I got a couple questions right, and I started feeling myself, and I said, and then you asked Mike about those robot arms in Iron Man, and then I realized I can't do this. I don't think a lot of people could have gotten that. Was a hard question.
Michael was mad that he didn't get that one.
Yeah, that was a hard question. Hotel Nerd.
Yeah, Jason Edmond talked about that. He's like, I would challenge that.
Yeah, that one you shouldn't really discount yourself for because nobody really knew that. That was a hard question. Hotel Nerd, Schmoebot, Rum Tum Tugger. There we go. The biggest Oscar snub that nobody's talking about is Apollo 11 for Best Documentary.
Yes.
Very disappointed about it. Yeah, so you guys agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I had a chance to interview the director, Todd Douglas Miller, for the Deep Cut, and he was incredible what he did, bringing 30,000 hours of footage, 11,000 hours of audio into 90 minutes and compile it and make you relive the space program all over again. You think you've seen everything you see about space, the space program at that time? Watch Apollo 11. It'll blow your mind. There's no narrator. It's all just the clips. Yeah, all just clips seamed in.
Like, watch that and Hidden Figures because they talk about that in Hidden Figures. And then you see what they had to do for Apollo 11, and it's nuts that it worked.
All right, I'll check it out. Agent 66, Hotel Nerd, Schmoebots, and Shane Joel. If we wait till Tuesday to watch the draft and avoid spoilers, after we watch, where should we go to find the non-televised picks? You can't watch the non-televised picks. They were done via text, and they were done on Twitter. So that was the whole point. So you can go to follow the @Schmoedown account, and you can relive them if you want to go back and look where everyone went. And then you can go to the Facebook group, and they show everyone who was posted. And we'll do. And so John's hosting backstage. Bibiani, the kid, and Riley right now looks like that's going to be the Ben Goddard, of course, is going to be on backstage on Thursday, and they're going to go through the whole entire thing. They're going to talk about the.
You don't need to mention me. I'm not going to get a single word in with that.
That's why I said to Ben, thank you. Because to ride the four of us in the show is going to be tough.
He also will be answering all your questions when they come in through Streamhouse. Okay.
Bibiani and oh boy.
It's going to be good. It'll be good. A good arguing. Shane Joel did that. SJW. There you go. Why do we and I'm not talking to you. I was reading. It was the name. It was the name of the thing.
I wasn't calling you were talking to me. You son of a bitch.
I know, just looked at you.
Stupid asshole. I'm not talking to you. That's just a straight name.
That's true. Mute his mic. I was talking about you.
3 My Schlong is going to burst. Are y'all going to the screening Bad Boys for Life? Miss you, Josh. Can't wait until he on the show.
I am going. I think, when is it, tonight or tomorrow? Tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tonight's,
and nobody invited me?
You want to go with me? You want to go
tonight?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah.
I got my podcast.
What's tonight?
Tonight is Talk to Animals.
Doolittle.
Yeah.
I'll turn that one down.
Yeah, I might turn it down also. I don't know. Shane Joel, we did that already.
Those get past to me. You could go to Doolittle.
SJW, why do people keep saying Joker is about a crazy white dude? Joaquin is Latino, for fuck's sakes. First time in years that a Latino has a legit shot at winning an actor award, and now people are trying to devalue that.
Is he?
That's what they say.
I need to look that up.
He might be Hispanic.
Is Arthur Fleck Latino?
No, but they're talking about. Right. Well, yes. That's true.
Because if he's from Spain, that means he's Hispanic and not Latino.
I don't know. Call to action. Put in for Pablo Machado. My name is Pablo Machado. 6 years ago, I discovered Schmoedown, and you guys became an immediate inspiration. Now I'm a film reviewer, podcaster, producer. Just wanted to thank you guys for your impact on my life and let you know I will always wish you success. I believe that I've met Pablo many times at Comic-Con and other places. Pablo rules. He gives us shot glasses. Yeah, Pablo rules.
Pablo's the best.
I like Pablo a lot. We are going to try to wrap up Streamlabs here. Hotel Nerd, put in a Schmoebot, Joel Godina. So after I donated early today, I had to deal with a customer at work that almost just got into a fist fight. So I went to lunch, and I'm catching the end of the show. Thanks for helping calm down and not see red anymore. Thank you.
Wow.
Guys, you guys, what happened, Joel? Tell us the story about what happened. Pac-Man Dwayne put in a Schmoedown, and then Gatewave. After seeing the Morbius trailer, what do you think the chances are now of there being a Spider-Man connection in Venom 2? Probably close. Probably real close. But you've had out the Joaquin
he was
Phoenix?
born in Puerto Rico.
Wow.
So
Joaquin, his real name is Joaquin Rafael Bottom. So I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to do some research.
Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong then.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it. I got to go to Super Chat here because
Rivers is as white as it comes. So
that's true. Well, maybe same
brother.
Yeah, but is it same mom, same dad?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do I know?
They were commune parents.
Dustin Dowd, looking forward to watching the awards and the draft. We're hoping that you're going to like it, Dustin. It'll be again. Did we get that footage out to Aaron?
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Great. Farthen Munam, Joaquin Oscar now after Globes and Critics' Choice. Yeah, he's winning. Yeah, I think he's going to win. Anybody else?
Yeah.
It would be a miracle if he didn't win.
Adam Driver, go Adam Driver.
No chance.
I know, but it's my heart.
Felipe Lopez, super stoked to see the Schmoedown this season. I have no idea what I'm watching, but I've seen all the build-up, and I'm excited about it. Team Rocha and Team Roxy. Also, this Morbius trailer, have you all seen it? Well, we talked about that, obviously, but that's one of those things that is kind of the point with SEN Live, and I say the following not because I didn't understand, but when I was on Collider Live, I wasn't really allowed to talk about Schmoedown that much. I could bring it up a little bit, and then I had to move on from it, which I understood. It wasn't their property. But the reason why I do talk about it here and then also mix it and match it is because it is a big part of big announcements to come. And the idea of what we're doing with the new era and doing the draft is so people who have never seen it before get hyped up and understand and watch it for the first time this season and follow everything that's about to happen. And when you watch the draft, I encourage you, if you've never seen one single Schmoedown, to watch the draft when it comes out, to say, okay, no, I'm going to follow this team this year. And I'm going to see if I can get into it and you can learn past history if you want. You can watch past matches, but this season, if you watch from the draft on, you're really going to be invested more so than ever because now you have 9 factions that you can get behind and choose which one you like. Are you a Yankee fan? Are you a Red Sox fan? Are you an Astros fan? Like, what are you? And that's what you're going to find out this season with the addition of these
teams. And on paper, every team looks really good.
I can't wait to talk about it because there's 2 teams. Like I have my opinion on who had the best draft and who had the worst draft, right? And then there is one team that is the riskiest team that could come off as brilliant if new players start to develop, but could also come off like, nah, you went after too many newbies, man. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Alid, no. I think Winston has a really solid team.
Yeah.
Alan, David, Alita Battle Angel was snubbed for best visual effects. I agree.
Oh yeah. That's fair.
I would have put that over Star Wars, to be honest. True,
yeah,
right?
That's big.
It's really good. Yeah,
that's a fair point.
It was really great effects. Red Wolf, just wanted to say thank you so much for the inspiration to continue my YouTube channel on gaming news. Love the laughter and positivity you guys bring to everyone. My channel is Sunder Wolf. Well, thank you, Sunder Wolf. Red Wolf, Sunder Wolf. Appreciate it. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Jacob Patrick, much love for retweeting the draft graphics I made this weekend. Here's to great 2020 season. Loved what Jacob Patrick did. So yeah, so Jacob, I don't know if you updated them with the new teams, but if you do, let me know. I'll retweet those also because he basically put a picture of the manager and the team and then all of the names of the teams. If you do that again, if you update it, just tag me on it or tag the Schmoedown on it. I'll retweet it because I thought those were brilliant.
When I did the live stream, those things were essential.
They were great.
JPDs, at JPDs, follow him. They're fantastic.
Hopefully, if
he's good.
Yeah, if he does do it. If not, we'll do it. But if he does do it, then you guys can just bring those up for Thursday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just give him a shout out.
Hell yeah.
Alex Tornai, happy Monday. What are your biggest Oscar snubs? We've covered that pretty much all the way through. Tommy Tom, hey all, wondering if Makuga will be in New York. He will. He's going to be in New York. First Brooklyn event, he started a Tom's Mom chant at the pre-show because I wore a hat she made. Showed her the video and she made a Wildberries hats for him and like to get it to him. He will be there. I talked to him about it the other day. He wasn't supposed to be at the awards, but he was able to, and it was good. I caught up with him. I hadn't seen him in a month or two, so he's going to be there in New York. Conduct check. Bear in mind, Murphy stormed out when he lost to Arkin too. Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Because he shouldn't have lost to Alan Arkin. For Dreamgirls. He was he totally just... There's nothing Arkin did in Little Miss Sunshine in 75 other films. Eddie was incredible.
It was just because of North.
Questions for everyone on the show, including the guy with 3 names. What is the weirdest interview or show that you did since you've been in this space?
John Claude Van Damme. It was definitely the weirdest and most fun I've ever had interviewing anyone because Makuga and Ellis were like so excited to meet him, but he's my kind of crazy,
right?
Like to where just off the wall, like just saying things. It's hard to follow him, but you still follow him type thing. So I love that. How about you?
He's an art piece by himself.
He really is.
Weirdest
MLB just suspended GM and Manger for the Houston Astros for 1 year.
Good.
Thoughts?
Oh, good. For the stealing of the signals?
Yeah.
They should take away the World Series for them as well.
I agree.
That is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. What you got about that, Gilmore?
Yeah, my Yanks got screwed because of those Astros stealing.
Both that, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the bad Gilmore.
Dodgers too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's fair. That's actually really fair. Actually, yeah.
So
they should just vacate that World Series stuff.
Yeah, they're not going to.
I don't think I've interviewed anybody weird. Although Clint Eastwood they told me ahead of time before I walked in to interview Clint Eastwood, like, just go where he's going.
What are you doing here?
You try to keep him on, but he's just going to go on
You
tangents.
think my movies are westerns?
Right. I enjoyed that. He's like, well, the reason I did that is because, and then I really like this, and green is my favorite. It's usually, hey, I'm rolling with whatever you're talking about.
Right.
I love it. Yeah,
it's great. Okay. Bear in mind, Murphy. Okay, so Sinfinity and Beyond. Didn't Eddie also walk out when he lost to Arkin? Yeah, we said that. BCD. I agree with Kristian. Showing number of votes seems fair. I think so. I think that way you really have a case to say when those come out. Like, look, man, what can we do? Everyone in the academy. It's like 1,000 people. It was 1,000 people away from it. It's like, and this person who's part of the committee also stands up. So there's just when you should show everybody who's a part of it, and then you could also say more inclusion in this stuff too, because we know how many people are there that could nominate.
And I guarantee people would be more careful about their votes.
Yes,
that time before and actually vote.
We need to know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
BCD Pew's nom is deserving. It's my only positive comment about this whole thing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Starfire XXX Oscar. It's subjective. What you like, some may not. If you think a person should be nominated, how you justify removing a person, subjective is no right answer. I think you're right, but I think it just couples up with more nominations, because I even after hearing myself say that the first time, I took it back immediately when I said that you should take Todd Phillips out. I don't agree with that, because I watched all of the videos of what he did with Joaquin. I think he's really responsible. Joaquin locked into working with him and felt comfortable with him, and that brought, because of that, like, it's not just about shots and breaking the rule and everything too. It's about other things that the director was able to do. That director was also had a smaller budget and was expected to do $70 million, and it broke $1 billion. So that type of stuff needs to be taken into consideration. It's not just what you see on screen; it's what makes the movie overall. So I do think he needs to, but I also stand by that both the director of Honey Boy and Greta Gerwig and even and maybe even Olivia Wilde,
fair. And Lou Wang for the farewell.
And Lou Wang that's why more.
I even forgot about Booksmart. Like, that movie's so good.
Yeah.
Like, and that got did that even get anything?
All on the smaller, like at the Hollywood Critics Association, we gave her awards for that, and Caitlin Deaver as well. But no one else has really given it much.
I thought she was at least going to get like a screenplay, something. Like,
well, Surreal the Phantom Magic Oriole just put in a nice little schmoba. I mean, nice.
Are you guys mad about Knives Out? Is anyone mad about Knives Out not being nominated for Best Picture?
No, it got nominated for screenplay.
Screenplay, right?
I think it's better for.
I agree.
I would have liked Daniel Craig as Best Supporting, but I know it was a stretch.
That was a long shot.
Okay,
it was a long shot. I like Best Support. I would have been. Yeah,
I think it deserved what it got.
Screenplay.
Okay. Yeah. Lewis Round. Hi, SEN team and Ben. Just like to say, welcome to SEN, Rocha Fat. I'm glad Kristian has got you in this thing. We love Bagel Boy, we really do. Now go get your Bonnie Bagel. Whoa! If she ever shows up,
she has to show up. Like,
she says she's coming on tomorrow.
I took a picture with Emma, and I was like thanking Emma, and she's like, "Oh, you replaced Bonnie?" And Bonnie retweeted it too. It's like, I guess so. I'm like.
This is gonna be a disaster before it even starts. I love it. As does it.
I'll bet she won't even be here tomorrow.
All right. Well, let's see it. Take a shot.
Yeah, you're not gonna go on that date no more.
As does it. Rocha, thoughts on the new Selena? She ain't thick, bro. Did you say she was? Did you say
who's the new Selena?
I don't know.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. What? I didn't.
I have no idea.
All right,
Gomez?
All right, Warrior 3232. If Ben gets Bonnie at least for a night, Bagel Boy dies and Ben got her lives. Even though it will ultimately fail.
Oh my God. Do any of you have friends that date? Because y'all are the worst wingmen ever.
Oh, right.
You're tagging her in everything I do.
No,
like,
so
where's Bonnie? Where's
it happened on this show.
I know. I'm just saying,
it's a shtick.
Let things happen. Yeah. Just let it happen.
But now, because now it's going to come to when you do go out.
I guarantee there's already 5 tweets. There's already 5 tweets like, Ben says you're not going to show up tomorrow.
I need to have both you guys on, and we're going to go through the whole night. Wow. I mean, the whole night.
Wow.
So, and whether or not, I
might show up just to sit in the corner for that.
I know, seriously. Sam O, hey Chris, what are your thoughts on Little Women in 1917? Loved them both. Little Women just missed out on my top 10. Loved it. I saw it twice. 1917 was my number 2 of the year. I thought it was an incredible movie. I'm a war buff in general, but there was just something about this movie that it was less about the war element as much as it was a human story, and just the power of the human spirit is what I loved about it. I thought it was Sam Mendes probably his best movie.
Over American Beauty?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
American Beauty doesn't hold up.
It doesn't age well.
I liked it a lot. And I still love it a lot. I love the music in that movie. Oh, yeah. And I know it's taboo to talk about him, but Kevin Spacey has an incredible performance.
He does.
He really does. But it's there's just something about this movie. I think this is his best film.
As soon as I walked out of the screening, I was like, this is the best film.
I always said a good double feature was that Peter Jackson doc, the They Shall Not Grow
Old.
Oh yeah. To get the whole overview of the war, and then you get the personal stuff with 1917.
Yeah. Morse Code Z. I mean, transparency is a nice idea, but have you seen the internet? Would you even vote in the Oscars if you knew you'd be called out? I don't think you necessarily should show. You shouldn't show your vote. But you should show who's part of the Academy.
Right.
So, yes, you should. If it's one of those things like, okay, I'm part of the Academy. Who'd you vote for? Well, I'm going to keep that for myself. Right. But you want to see how many people voted, you go right there. Yeah. And I think that would be.
It's like an election. We see how many numbers there are in the votes and what sides voted for what. Yeah.
That's right.
We just don't need names.
You don't call everybody out.
Yeah. Thunderwolf. Kinda Funny has a big new studio, live show in San Francisco. I would love it. I love those dudes. I really am super fans of Kinda Funny. Hero 25. I saw Knives Out finally. What'd you guys think of it? I think everybody here really liked it a lot, right?
Good.
Yeah. The screenplay was good. It was a lot of fun. JG Cars, y'all really need to come to Pittsburgh. We're thinking about it. It's an amazing city full of culture, sports, and beer. Bring Makuga. Bring him home. Question for the table. If y'all could pick a new city for the live event, where? Go Coy, Roxy, Shannon, and Den. Well, I'm not going to list the ones that we already have on the table because we're going there. I want to go to Toronto. Ooh. I really want to go to Toronto.
Nashville.
Japan. Tokyo.
Oh, that's
Tokyo.
That's big goes.
Like in a sumo wrestling arena.
Yeah.
Put the Schmoedown right in the middle.
If it catches on the way I hope it will, we'd be perfect for Japan.
Yeah.
I'd say San Francisco. Local, but I think we'd do great there.
San Francisco would be good. I think we'd have a better shot at Oakland than we would San Francisco.
Oakland. I actually would rather go.
Well, we looked at San Francisco, and it's really expensive, and the fan base isn't as big there that I thought it would be.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Surprising.
Yeah. Robert Steroff, who puts in a super chat and follows up with says, any news on the Jesus Quintana or the Jesus Quintana spinoff movie from Big Lebowski?
It's already out, isn't it? He already did it.
Did he?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure it already came out and was dropped because he had all the permission from the Coen brothers to do it.
No,
I think there was a trailer too.
I remember seeing the trailer. I don't know if it's come out yet.
Yeah.
Epsilon Audio, love the show, guys. What horror movie from the last decade would you nominate for an Oscar? Conjuring. Also, when can I watch The Draft? Tuesday. Horror movies, Oscar.
It got nominated. Get Out.
Yeah.
Us. This year.
I thought Hereditary was unfairly vilified.
Oh, okay.
I thought that should have been nominated.
Tony Collette at the very least.
Yes.
Haskell 420 says MLB suspends Astro manager and GM 1 year for sign stealing. Yep, that's right.
And they got someone said in the chat that they got their first round draft pick from this year and next year.
Nice. Wow. Vacate that title.
That's right. Okay, let me make sure that I get everybody here. Streamlabs, and you guys have an extra 5 minutes, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay,
let's do it. Yeah.
So I just want to make because there are a lot of Streamlabs that keep coming in here. So we did this one already. After seeing the Morbius trailer, what do you think about the Spider-Man connection, Venom 2? See that guy over there? Just curious if anyone has seen Weathering with You. It's finally being released this week in North America. It's from the same director and writer as Your Name.
Oh wow. No, I haven't. I've heard great things about Your Name.
I need to see Your Name.
Yeah,
because Stuckman raved about it, and Emma does too. So I need to watch that movie.
Okay, cool. No, I haven't seen it. So Knapsack's Ponytail. Academy voters must think it's easy to make 22 concurrent movies and have that 22nd movie.
Hey gang, since we have a league in the Schmoedown, are there any fantasy leagues that the fans could get into?
Yes, there were for sure, and I think that we're going to try to get a couple of official ones going pretty soon. So that'll probably be part of the announcement, hopefully. But we're going to do more of that now that the teams are out, and now we don't go live until January 25th for our first event. We're working on it once all the full teams and rosters are released. So it's something we definitely want to do. Okay, so where were we at? So this was then the Academy voters, the biggest ensemble movie in history. Sorry, is it easy to make 22 concurrent movies and have the 22nd movie, the biggest ensemble movie in history, be arguably the best of the 22? It shouldn't have won, but should have been nominated next time. Release the Avengers in November. I mean, it's an interesting point. For sure.
I think a big part of it was that they felt like they already gave Black Panther a lot of love, so they wasn't trying to give it a game.
Yeah.
Joel Godina gives us some insight on the fight here today. I work at a phone store. The dude came in cussing at me because he couldn't sync up his Apple Watch to his new iPhone.
Oh my God.
So I told him to calm down, and I'd be happy to fix it. After offering my help, he tossed the watch and hitting me in the face.
Whoa!
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, and he said, then fucking fix it. After it hit my face, I went off at him, and I told him to get out because I wasn't going to help him. He refused to leave and started getting louder and balled up his fist. So tempers flared, but me being 5 or so inches taller, he really didn't want to smoke.
That's right, baby. That's
right.
Talk to him like that.
So you can say it because he also wrote it.
Disrespectful.
Thank God. Fuck that, dude.
That is absolutely right. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, Joel. Faris Muthana. I also watched Bibbs versus Rocha when Rocha won. I have never been happier from a man. And that promo when he was cursing out Bibbs, it just had me dying. RB3. I started watching the Sam Mendes episode. I'm rolling with it.
Yeah. We just did a Sam Mendes episode of Meeting Up Podcast. You can find that on First Cut.
Nice.
Pac-Man Dwayne and Charles King both put in Schmoebots, and Joel Godina finished up the story. Nicholas David Gallagher. I feel bad for leaving Rocha and RB3 out of trivia today, so here's a question for them. In the category of 2010s, what is the name of the film with a 24-hour runtime and features constant scenes of watches to keep track of time?
I have no clue.
Shit, I don't. Nymphomaniac? No?
No.
Yes, guess anything.
Clock Stoppers.
Yeah.
Bagel Kid?
Watchmen.
No, I think Whitney Side will talk about. I don't know.
The Clock. His name is.
Oh, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
Nice.
M. Sun says more like Beg Her Boy.
Okay.
Wow.
He's getting mad.
Yeah. Garth McMurray.
Y'all need better jokes.
Wow. Getting hyped up. Garth McMurray, leave Ben and Bonnie alone, other Super Chat people. I suggested that they date, and I wanted to work out. I wanted to work out well for them. I will say it was funny because my brother's also like a big like Stern fan.
Oh yeah.
And he's like I like the Bagel Boy. He's good. He's like he's annoying. He goes, but he's like in that like likable annoying way.
Yeah.
He's like you want him on the show, but he annoys me. I was like, that's kind of the point. That's kind of the point.
Would you take her name or?
See, that was good.
Ben Somerville.
That was good. That was funny.
C3 Biddy put in a Schmoebot, and then the last one of the day, Watt Movie Reels. Local film critic in Cleveland, you guys were my inspiration. I want to get into the Schmoedown reacting for my channel. Advice on how to go about it. By the way, Doolittle isn't bad, but better than expected. Okay, that's good, and good to see that tonight.
All right.
So as far as getting into reacting, I mean, when the matches come out, what I would do is check out some of the really good ones, right? Look at the OG reactors for Schmoedown is Late to the Party. Go to Late to the Party and watch some of their reactions for sure. And then you have Call to Art, dedicated to art. Take 3 Productions, Albert on Jaw Movies.
Yeah, Albert.
And obviously Call to Action. Those are some of the ones you should check out. Just kind of see their style and what they do. And we just met the Cinefanatics are guys you should check them out too. So there's
Is there a way to incorporate the Schmoebot into the studio recordings of Schmoedown?
No.
Like maybe during backstage interviews?
No, to get it passed with Ellis through this is one thing. No, and I wouldn't want to do that. This is for the show. Ellis had a great Schmoebot joke at the awards, and his monologue alone is worth checking out the awards today. All right, so
he killed it.
David, let's hit the music there, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here today. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you to John Rocha,
thank you,
Ben Goddard, RB3, David Michael Frank coming in today to help us out. And for you guys, remember, the awards are on today. They drop today, and then the draft is tomorrow. Subscribe, watch it today. Start getting into the Schmoedown. We're gonna have a hell of a season. Wait for the big announcement coming really, really soon. Subscribe here, click a like, go to Apple Podcasts and rate and review. It gets us up in the rankings. We'll see you here tomorrow. Bonnie says she's coming on. Roxy Stryer will be on. Brett Sheridan here. Whole crew tomorrow.